What do you know? It went live. Well, hello, Crime Stoppers. I never know if I'm going to be able to get a live feed of this, and I'm apologize for the lateness of the hour. I was all set to make a video, and yeah, of course, I had technical difficulties. But let's get right to it, shall we? I don't expect a whole lot of people to be here because most of my audience is asleep at the moment. It's like, well, I guess in California, it's only like 11. I don't even know. Anyway, um, daylight savings and such. It changed, didn't it? Anyway, and Texas and like I said, the East Coast. It's way late. All right, so let's start with errata. So, Supreme Court of the United States, 1795. See, trust but verify. Inasmuch as every government is an artificial person, an abstraction, and a creature of the mind only, a government can interface only with other artificial persons. The imaginary, having neither actuality nor substance, is foreclosed from creating an art and attaining parity with the tangible. The legal manifestations of this is that no government, as well as any law, agency, aspect, court, etc., can concern itself with anything other than corporate artificial persons and the contracts between them. In Hawaii, we have a saying. The saying is wrong, but true. If you go look it up, there is no Supreme Court SCR 1753 US 50. No, I went and read the case. It's not in there. You got to go read the cases. That's what I mean. See, and then you go cite this, and then they'll know you're a dumbass, right? You put this in your letter or whatever, and you'll be right because it's true that they can only interface with artificial persons, and everything in that quote is basically true. But it didn't come from the Supreme Court, and I can't find any such rulings. But no, they can only concern themselves with artificial persons. See, what happened was, yeah. Well, it's not even 9 o'clock for me. But anyway, and besides, people will watch this on 2 times speed. Well, depending on how long I go, but I mean, watch it on 2 times speed, and you'll have a fun time. But no, we're gonna have a little wingding here. Let's see. Shall I start with Matthew? All right. Yes. So let's get to this book over here. I'm fooling around on my. Okay. So, oh, I have so much show and tell today. I can't even tell you how much show and tell I have. This turned out to be a good book. I bought this for my son. There's a couple of these actually, so you might want to take a look at that. The Hermetica. This is the book we're going to concern ourselves with, though. King James Version, by the way. And we'll start off with Matthew. See, because here's how they get you. How they get you is you think the words mean one thing and they mean another, like person. And then you don't understand corollaries because a man can be a person, but a person is not necessarily a man. A living thing can be a man. Well, let's put it this way. A man can be a living thing, but wait a minute, I'm sorry, it's not living thing. Let's read this correctly right off of their document. Look, official gold seal and everything. Let's see here. The name Crouton Ramon identifies a living individual. Okay, that's the word I was looking for, the term. So you think living individual means living individual. I assure you, Crouton Ramon has no birth certificate because I made him up. So anyhow, all right. So the words might not mean what you think they mean, so you got to look them up. And then for fuck's sure, you got to go and make sure your quotes and all the sites and so forth are actual quotes and sites, because yeah, there's all kind of stuff floating around the internet. And I think that's in the other video that I did. But yeah, see, here's the difference. Even if it's me, it doesn't matter who it is. Trust no one, verify everything for yourself. And the thing that goes along with that, we're going to go over maxims here in a minute, is the idea that, let's say you did use that and you didn't fact check it and you didn't see okay, they know, right? Now they know that how you are. And the idea is that if you don't have the time, or if you will not become learned, if you will not look the stuff up, if you will not read the dictionaries. Oh, that's another thing we got here. I don't know how to do this quite yet, but because everywhere this is private, but it's just dictionary terms. And this is 318 pages of dictionary terms. And we will go through these. Maybe I'll make a couple videos this week. But just terms that you might know the meanings of. It's 300 words. These 300 words will lead to 300 more words, and you will have a good education on what the words mean with these. These are like choice words. This comes from the man Patrick Devine. But I mean, it's got pardon, right? Forgiveness. Let's see here. Aggrieved. Unlawfully insulated. I love this because I used to I used to get teased all the time for just reading the dictionary. I could spend all day up in Idaho when there was so much snow on the ground you didn't want to go outside anyway. And it's fun for the first little while, and then after that. Oh, speaking of snow, I'm just gonna come back to this. And then this is the thing: I have clients in Texas. 2 days later, it's back to the 70s, 80s. Like they had snowmageddon, and then all of a sudden it warmed right back up again. Meanwhile, I have friends right now. There are a couple of crazy people who are in outside in bikinis and summer wear in 17 inches of snow in Colorado. 17 inches, 17. Yeah, a bit of snow. Okay, I'm not going to read out of here. I'm going to read off the screen, actually. But this is the King James Version, and this is the King James Version. And even that I check, because sometimes when they transcribe, they miss a word, and every freaking word is important. All right, so we're going to talk about the fact that if you think that this is, understand that the Christ is a consciousness. And I can prove it. Let's see here. I'm 7 ways from Sunday, not to mention the Masons tell you this. Oh, okay. Before we even start reading. All right, yeah, sure, why not? Oh, hope you guys got some theta. Did you get some theta? Are you getting some? Did you get some theta tea fuel? Theta turned out to be one hell of a tip. Thank you, Bixweir. Oh, look over here. It's just me taking notes. The difference between insurance and assurance. Etymology is so important. The IN as opposed to the anyway. Yeah. You once they get to be multiple syllables, now you got to start looking up each syllable for etymology. They trap us with the words, guys. That's how they got us. All right. So, a pen. I have many. I bought a box of these, unsolicited and uncompensated, better than the freaking expo markers. All right, let's go with black. Okay, so let's take this. Actually, forget. Let's just read it. Well, I will read it, and we'll start with this. See, because if you only know the literal translation, you're silly. Okay. Oops. Not that one. This one. This is from Matthew. If you know, see, if you're learned, Matthew 14 to 21. You already know what the story is going to be. Mark 6:30, 6:30 to 44. You would already know what the story is going to be. Luke 9, 10 to 17. And then again, John 6, 5 to 14. Let's take a look at the numbers. Matthew is 14. There's 14, 14, 21. Do you see the sevens? And John is 6, 5, 14. So John and Matthew. And then Mark is 6:30, 44. And Luke 9, 9. There's your clue. 10 to 17. All right. For those of you that dabble in the numerology and have some understanding of the meanings. 14s. The Christians were the 14s. Anyway, and Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude and was moved with compassion toward them. And he healed their sick. And when it was evening, his disciples, discupules. See, I'm studying my Latin. Students, because Jesus was a teacher. Anyway, his disciples came to him saying, "This is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitudes away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals." The story doesn't mean what you think it means. But Jesus said unto them, "They need not depart. Give them to eat." And they say unto him, "We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes." And he said, "Well, bring them hither to me." And then he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake, and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. He gave the loaves to his disciples, and then the disciples gave it to the multitude. And they did all eat, and were filled, and they took up the fragments that remained, 12 baskets full. 12 baskets, 12 signs in the zodiac, 12 apostles, 12. Yeah, that probably just means 12 baskets full of crumbs. And they had eaten, and they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, beside women and children. Okay, and I can read it over and over again, because in Mark 6, it's the same story. And the apostles gathered themselves, and I'm not going to do it. You can do it. I'll put a link here. Actually, no, I'll just put a link. How's that? You can read it yourselves while I'm rambling. Can I put it over here? And by the way, they apparently hate it when we do this. Like, hate it. Because they don't want no Christians. You wandered into the Sunday night Serfvice. Yeah, serfs. Okay, so let me give you some loaves and fishes, because maybe loaves and fishes doesn't mean what you think it means. So let's see here. I want to know the area of this. Okay, I'm gonna give you a loaf here. Well, a little piece, actually. All right, here's a quick one. Here's a quick one. So let's say there is electricity flowing through this, and this story comes to mind because of another friend of mine. All right, so if there's high voltage going through this, you don't want to see, but you don't know, because you don't have the senses to know if there is voltage going through there or not. It doesn't look different. It won't smell different. You can't tell. So what do a lot of people do? They'll tap it. They'll tap it like that. And then you know what happens to some people when they tap it like that? Because if there is high voltage going through there, their hand will collapse it like this, and then they will die and become electrocuted. So what you do, and I know this because I had a teacher that this happened to. Well, actually, it happened to one of her students, and she wound up having her memory wiped out. Anyway, I ran into her just recently, and we had some very interesting conversation. But anyway, so what she was telling me is, so what you do if there's a high voltage wire is you put your hand like that, and not only if it's high voltage, it will snap you, of course, but it will cause this to contract and take your hand off of it, as opposed to doing this where it grabs it. Okay, so she has a student that's like this. She doesn't go and throw the switch and turn it off. She tries to pull him off of it. So of course she gets shocked. This guy like pretty much lost it. They thought he was a vegetable, but he wasn't a vegetable. His memory was completely lost, right down to not being able to speak. They had to teach him how to speak again, and then he was fine, but he had no memory. She only lost, and she was a marine biologist and taught me quite a bit of how this body works and so on. We were dissecting worms and frogs and pigs and all kind of stuff. Great stories with her. But anyway, she lost her biology degree basically. She had to go back to university to relearn it and so forth. And then she lost a lot of like she didn't know who I was, even though I had been her student for like 4 years. And it was sad too, because she was like, see if you can refresh my memory. And we went, and she went that, and then she goes, "Don't be offended. This is what happened." Okay, so anyway, there's a little loaf. Don't check high voltage like this. Check high voltage like this, right? And just tap it. I don't know why you would. Anyway, okay, that's a loaf. There's a little loaf. Maybe that could come in handy. You could give that little piece of knowledge to somebody when you're fucking around with, doing electrical work or something like that. That's black and crispy and hangs from the ceiling. Portuguese electrician. Anyway, so that's why we can get away with that here. We tease everybody, and nobody cares, and we all get along. We marry each other and fuck each other and have beautiful children. You guys can't figure out that. I mean, oh my God, those guys are Protestants. Anyway, all right, here's another piece of knowledge. So if one side is 3 and the other side is 5, you recognize that symbol right there. And you even will recognize that symbol right there, I hope. And yes, it's the same thing as 15. The area is 15. Okay, that's where that symbol comes from. Oh, look, I just gave you a little loaf. I just gave you a crumb. I just gave you a little piece of bread. Are you eating? If you only know the literal stories, you will suffer. Simple. Enslaves the fools, sets the wise men free. Same fucking system going on in here. And by the way, you idiot fucking ministers, Romans is for the Romans, not for the Christians. So that whole thing about obeying authority, no. Particularly not when they're telling you to kill yourself with a freaking vaccine. Oops. Can't even say the word. Yeah, and then I have a friend here. I don't know if you're still here or not, but yeah, yes, you are. Okay, right? How's that? They can't censor the internet thing going. Won't even let us use the fucking words. I mean, right? Okay, this must change. Okay, so let's see here. So now if I know the whole rectangle is 15 and one side is 3, and look, I can even do it here. Look, I got them here. Here's my blocks. All right, so the whole rectangle is 15. This side is 3. What's this side? It's 5. You call that division. Most of you have never seen the fact that, yes, it's a rectangle. Oh, look, I just gave you another loaf, a little crumb, a little something to nibble on. Maybe think about the fact that they're lying to you like bad dogs constantly. See, this book gets you out from under the whore of Babylon, right? Jesus was a teacher. He had the Christ consciousness. He embodied the Christ consciousness, the consciousness of Christ. Let's talk about that. Now we're going to run over to Revelations. There's always it's Revelations. But anyway, Revelations. This is 12. Revelations 12, 7, 12. 7 through 12 is what I'm about to read. So Revelation 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought, and his angels. What? Am I being silly? Yes, I'm being silly. Okay, hold on. Sorry. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought, and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation. Read these words. And strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. Gotta right? Put the emphasis where it belongs there. Right? The power of his Christ, not the power of Christ Jesus, not the power of just Christ, not the power of Jesus Christ, not the power of, it didn't say, and the power of Christ. It says, and the power of his Christ. And sorry, ladies, these misogynistic fools refer to the All-Father as the Father. The earth is the mother. Anyway, so his Christ. All right. So what does that mean? Right? It's here, guys. Here and here, right? And in the Eastern religions, they say if you take, the job is to take it from here to there, to consciousness, because our consciousness. Well, I don't know about you guys, but my consciousness is definitely up here, and it should be here. That was the work of Satan himself. Anyway, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. I'll put this over here. Meditate on these words. It is not a literal story. And if you think it's a little literal story, you're going to suffer. Simple. There's your ticket right there. Because it tells you. See, and here, what am I doing? I'm giving you fishes and loaves, right? He gave the fishes and loaves to his disciples, and then his disciples went out and gave it to the masses. And he told them, don't go into town to get your victuals, right? Because what do you get? You'll get video games. You'll get strip clubs. You'll get alcohol. You'll get fat and sugar. You'll get humans being fed to you, well, some of their DNA anyway, in hamburgers. You'll get all kind of stuff in town, but it won't feed your soul. This story's not hot. Come on. Right? And I'm not allowed in any fucking church in this country. I guarantee it. All right. And see, it's Sunday. This is stuff for Saturday. But anyway, this is why we're serfs. So we pick the day of the sun instead of the day of Saturn, which is the Sabbath. Anyway, but most people go to church today. And most of you never read the damn Bible, never read the thing. Yeah, signed the user agreement. Yeah, I'm a Christian. But you never fucking read the thing. And then and it takes a while. It takes a while to study this stuff and figure out what the fucking words mean. Right? Were they fighting a dragon? Is that what you think? Right? That old serpent called the devil? Well, is it a serpent or are these words of art? Flowery words. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. By the blood of the what? And by the word of their testimony. Why, yes, as it turns out, the word of your testimony is how you get the fuck out, is how you overcome this fucking demon. These people that have taken you and decided that you are the leasee of this thing, converted you from landlord to tenant, gave you tenancy. Same fucking system. This book gets you out. This book does it in a more secular fashion. And again, wrong but true, right? A lot of stuff in here wrong, but true. This will open your eyes if you haven't. And you can get this. Search Fruit from a Poisonous Tree PDF. And it's all over the place. All right. And then the other one, you guys that are doing homeschooling. And now you really got them. Because I remember a long time ago when I got a ticket for walking on the land up on the crater. And they decided, yeah, we're not going to fuck with this guy. They just spiked the ticket. But anyway, much to the chagrin of the ranger that gave it to me. That bitch. Anyway, there was a article I was reading that basically says, when you get any document from the government, look it over very carefully. Everything on that document is there for a reason. Every bit of it. So, and I kind of sort of took the advice, but I didn't have the knowledge to even be able to look over the document and find flaws and then figure out that, yeah, this is fraudulent conveyance of language. And you shouldn't even be able to read it because if you know the stuff that's in here, this is how they get you, right? Good, because that's how it is. And that's exactly true. You know, that statement is, yeah, we didn't have eyes to see and we didn't have ears to hear. They were fucking children right in front of us. I found some pictures of Drew Barrymore on the internet. Oh my God, what they did to Drew Barrymore, right? Just sexualized that child and oh my God. Anyway, and see, and then monkey see, monkey do. Now all the rest of the people want to be like her, right? It's these people in Hollywood are sick and wrong. Okay, I'm going to try and figure out how to make this PDF. I'm probably going to load it up to my website, and then I'll have a link for you guys. Come back to this video, and then you can download it, and I'll make it so that it's downloadable and printable. But these are 300 words that you ought to really take a look at. Open my eyes. Restoration of the record. See, this is the thing. You got to claim your estate. You got to correct the record. You're dead. Oh, you want to hear some crazy conspiracy theory? I cannot verify this, right? Okay, so I'm just saying. But okay, the world's cut in two, right? So when you're born, the first time they assault you is by cutting your umbilical cord, right? Okay, and then they claim the placenta as you. I think I'll call this placenta John Quincy Adams, in all caps, because it's a dead thing. And then they write all their paperwork on that. And then this other thing that comes out here, this thing, right? They split everything in two. Okay, I can't confirm this at all, but I mean, at this point, I wouldn't fucking put it past them, right? I mean, it's just I've heard some insane stuff, and a lot of the stuff that a few years ago, because I went to slave school, and my slave masters told me, that's crazy talk, right? Because my slave masters would definitely explain to me how I'm in bondage, right? They'd educate me on the bonds and how, and secret contracts and all that kind of stuff, wouldn't they? Right? That would make sense, wouldn't it? Oh dear. All right, wait, I got show and tell too, but I'm gonna have that, and we should go over those word for word, because I'm telling you, yeah. And then see, as Patrick Devine said, at least you'll be in the right part of the dictionary. So a lot of those words, and it's not necessarily in alphabetical order, but anyway, there's 300 of them there, and yeah. See, when you walk into a court and they're flying an admiralty flag, you're okay. I'm cool with that. You guys want to go with admiralty? Great, restitutio integrum. Right, little Latin there, and don't try to speak the language of the dead to the dead. But see, they can't even speak. They won't even let you in court. Last time I went, they wouldn't even let me in the courtroom, because I had informed them that I knew the jig was up, that they were a private corporation, and that I was a man. And therefore, if I'm a man and they're offers of the dead, you can't speak law to me. Don't speak law at me. You have no jurisdiction. Jurisdiction, law, speak, diction, right? Juris, law, diction, speak. All right, so you have no jurisdiction. You can't fucking talk to me. And they knew it, and they wouldn't let me. A big dude, he wouldn't let me down the hallway to even get to the courtroom, because I had some papers that I wanted to hand to the judge. So this whole thing is, oh, you do this and they'll beat you up and shoot you with. Yeah, if you're standing there on the side of the road in the middle of the night saying you don't consent, yeah, fuck you. They'll probably hit you in the head with a club or maybe shoot you. Yes, I agree. But if you got your paperwork in order and it has been sent in ahead of time, and they have recognized the fact that you are, see, you got to correct your record. This is not that hard. You ever fucking send in a change of address form to whatever XYZ company it is? It's the same fucking thing. Right? And everybody's all scared. Oh, yeah. Well, let them know you ain't dead. Do I have that here? I can read it to you. Season's Greet. I wrote this at Christmas time. See, and I got to send it 3 times. I think I read this already. Please correct your records to reflect the following. Done. What's hard about this? I own these names. You don't. I'm not dead. I'm a man. Not a person. Not a member of the U.S. persons. Sorry, I fucked up, because, yeah, I bet you have a form or two where I actually signed it where it says I'm a U.S. person. Well, I'm not. And that was, you were defrauding me anyway, right? So anyway, and fraud vitiates everything. Okay, start with the IRS, work your way up. And then let me put a couple of these things here, because we're going to go over some maxims. See, one thing's leading to another. I actually planned for this, and I'm sorry I'm late. Like I said, I would have started much earlier today, but this trackpad right here, I got 1 drop of water on it from and yay. About literally 3.5 hours later, I'm literally sitting here with the, come on, I'm in a good mood. Have you seen the price of theta? So even just that should put you in a good mood. Told you about it when it was 65 cents. Told you about T Fuel when it wasn't even a penny. Or maybe I didn't. I don't think I said anything about T fuel in this. But anyway, theta, 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 theta. That was a hell of a tip. Um, anyhow, the point being is that I'm in a good mood, and so even my trackpad and this stupid computer screwing up today has not set me off. And Hall, everybody I know is fine. I don't know if you knew that we had a rainstorm that was not natural, and I was here to witness it. So fuck you. I kind of sort of have firsthand account here. Thunder that went on for fucking ever. Never heard. I am 57 years a slave. Never heard thunder like that, where it just went on and on and on, and the rain coming down was buckets doesn't even describe it. I mean, like I won't say that that's the hardest tropical downpour ever, but it's the longest tropical downpour. I mean, to the point where we didn't have rivulets coming up; it was just coming off in sheets, like those super expensive faucets that make the nice like sheet of water where you put your hands under. Yeah, that's how the roof was. I mean, like it was crazy how much water was coming out of the sky. Believe it's weather warfare. Can't prove it. Just crazy conspiracy theory. But what happened in Texas? The shape should have been like this. And the shape wasn't like that when it comes to that weather pattern coming down from the north. The shape was much more like that. Looked like harp to me. Fishes and loaves. Fishes and loaves. Go look into it. No, really. I can look. I'm feeding all 6 of you, and I don't even have a fish or a loaf. Anyhow, so I was sitting there for pretty much all afternoon with the blow dryer in one hand and the other hand on the mouse track, trying to make it work. And anyway, finally I've gotten to the point where it dried up and it works. So let's go over here to the equity guys. Oh, and my girlfriend is returning from Fiji. So soon we will be doing some, well, soon being a relative term, probably going to be a few more months before it all gets together here. But the idea being is that we're going to make I think we're going to do a channel called Super Pookie and the Dragons Tuesday evening social club. Be prepared for that. She is a riot. Promise. Anyway, let's see here. List of maxims. Let's go over this list one more time. And I'm going to stop and talk about a couple of them. And then, let's put it in there so you can click it. So you can follow along. Class. Open your book to page. Okay, there's that. And then, how about this? Yes, here's a home page. Now, pick one is the thing. And I don't recommend one or the other. There's Kirk's Law Corner. There's these guys. There's, I put other links to various people, the warriors and so on and so forth. But the idea is there's a whole lot of counties and many, many counties. And all of them are corrupt. Trump and the Marines, well, I think they're going to try and get like most of them. Like, it's going to be interesting how this all pans out because it's corruption everywhere. You are the plan. The cavalry is writing in, but you have got to get your fucking shit correct here. Get your paperwork done and start suing the bonds and going after these guys. This is not the way it's supposed to be. This is how it's always been as long as we've been alive, but this isn't how it's supposed to be. You want to travel from here to there to go get food. They say you got to pay them a tax. And you do it because you always have. You got to get a license to travel. No, you don't. No, you don't. You got to register that car to them so they can usufruct it back to you. And then you got to carry insurance. No, you don't. That's a little more tricky though. And you better know what the fuck you're doing. Again, don't do anything until you know what you're doing. And on and on and on and on and on. Right? So you are born in a county. When they cut that cord, they claim the placenta. Apparently, I don't know. I guess I haven't verified that, but I wouldn't put it past them. But that birth certificate is not a birth certificate. That is a 75-year bond. that starts everything in motion. And you didn't consent to that. Above all, consent must be preserved, right? Free will must be preserved. So you didn't consent, but they don't know you didn't consent because you haven't told them that you didn't consent. So one more time, you got to go correct the record, right? Just go correct the record. Simple. Okay. And see, there you go. And put it on 2 times speed when you start back. Well, he's probably gone by now. But anyway, he's put it on 2 times speed. So it goes by much faster. Especially when I'm humming and hawing like I am now. Where was I going with this? Oh, here's where I was going with this. Okay, so I put the equity maxims in there. All right, so the idea is that you have to, I'm easily distracted. Oh, look, a squirrel. So you have got to figure out how you are going to deport yourself and come at them. See, and once you start understanding things, you'll know what to do. And this book will help. Tells you in code and parable what to do. But you got to accuse. You got to be seated before you can have standing. They can't even hear you. They can't recognize you. You're a slave. We're slaves. We're bonded freemen. And so you must break those bonds. They have you chained to the sky right now. You must cut the chains. The way you cut the chains is by claiming your estate, firing everybody that would have any kind of power of attorney, or right, rescind your signatures. And you don't want to rescind your signatures on every fucking thing, so you need to know about that. But yeah, you can't have these offers interloping in your personal affairs. So ask them, why are you administering my estate for me? Who gave you permission to administer this estate? I thank you for your service, but I don't need it anymore. You're fired. In words to this effect, right? Keep it short, keep it simple. You don't have power of attorney. If you did have power of attorney, this letter informs you that it has been reneged. All right. So, and then you got to write the letters. And then you got to know how to order your own estate. So before you get all granflutin about how you're a sovereign individual and la la la, you better freaking know what the hell you're doing and be able to order your affairs and know what numbers and what. Anyway, because you're supposed to be able to govern yourself. And yes, it's a fuck of a lot of reading. And if you're not willing to do the reading and you're not willing to look up the words and you're not willing to know what the words mean and you're not willing to watch the video and get some advice from people that are learned, then you are fit to be a slave and stay inside the system. Because this getting out is for people who are learned, not for slaves who won't read, who get dunked in the water and never read the book. Maybe show up on Christmas and say, I don't go. So I'm not judging you at all because I don't go. I'm not a joiner. And these fuckers wouldn't even show up because the governor told them they couldn't on Easter Sunday. That's kind of the important one, guys. The point of the whole thing. You're here forever. By the way, the guy told you. If you believe in me, you have life everlasting. It never ends. That means everlasting. That means you're here for fucking ever. And the ritual and party that, well, I guess it's not a party, but the service that it should be a party, that celebrates the fact is called Easter. And then the other one, the birth of the Savior, is Christmas. And really, you guys, I mean, wow. Anyhow, the point being is that if you have some faith and you know what your stuff is, you will accept the Christ consciousness and you will become conscious of law. You will become conscious of equity. You will become conscious of compassion, right? And forgiveness, right? It's a consciousness. It's not a guy. And there was a guy, apparently, like the Buddha, who did embody that Christ consciousness. And we made a story, and well, we didn't, they did, made a story of the Jesus. They didn't have a J back then. So we're going to argue over the point of what the guy was named. See, if you get into those kind of things, we've already lost the cause. All right, let's go over to maxims and start to understand. See, it all blends together, right? And these are maxims. Yeah. Custom trumps all. Maxims they don't rule against maxims because they look like asses if they try. And if you can bring up the maxims, You can, I mean, they won't even do it. There will be no adjudication, but you got to know what they are and how they apply. And then the case law is to give you some examples of how they apply. It's not to do all be all to be fucking setting precedent. That's how it is now, but that's not how it was supposed to be. What it was supposed to do is show you here is a learned judge that made a judgment based on these maxims. Okay. Equity sees that as done which ought to be done. First one, equity will not suffer a wrong to be without remedy. Second one, equity will not suffer a wrong to be without remedy. They must give you remedy. They don't have to tell you what it is, but they got to give it to you. Equity will not suffer a wrong to be without a remedy. All right. 3, equity delights in equality. And see, this is another, you got to, I mean, just the term equity, huge concept. Okay. Equity aids the blah, blah, blah. I can't speak English. Okay, let's try it again. Equity delights in equality. One who seeks equity must do equity. Equity aids the vigilant, not those who slumber on their rights. Well, guess who's been slumbering on their rights for like, I don't know, 5 generations now? And you want the aid of equity. Well, you better wake up then and claim your rights, because otherwise equity will not aid you. Equity imputes as intent to fulfill an obligation. Equity acts in personam or persons. Impropria persona is how you're going to show up if you choose to show up. And you're going to make a special appearance, not a general appearance. And on top of that, they cannot jurisdiction you. They cannot speak to you because you are the living, and they are summoning the dead because they can only summons the dead, the corporate fictions. We so ignorant. 57 years a slave. Equity abhors a forfeiture. That's the name of my book. I'm going to write a book, and it's going to be called 57 Years a Slave. Just a dumbass, dumb fucking slave. Woke up a little bit, but now woke up the rest of the way. And see, once you wake up, Frederick Douglass will tell you knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave, and you can't go back to sleep. And then it becomes that whole sounds crazy thing. But what did he say, Thomas Paine? You give me liberty or you give me death. There isn't a fucking thing in between. Equity abhors a forfeiture. Equity does not require an idle gesture. He who comes into equity must come with clean hands. You want equity, your hands better be clean. Equity delights to do justice and not by halves. Equity will take jurisdiction to avoid a multiplicity of suits. Equity follows the law. That's huge. Equity follows the law. In fact, if you type equity, that's one of the things that'll show up in a Google search. I mean, you know, in the automatic thing, if you type equity, the thing that'll show up, one of them is equity follows the law. Because apparently a lot of people look that one up. Equity will not aid a volunteer. All right, you dumbasses, go get your shots. Go get your shots. They aren't mandatory. You didn't have to get them. So if you go get your shots, guess what? Your insurance policy isn't going to pay you because you volunteered to get that shot. And equity will not aid a volunteer. So if you have misfortune or any kind of problem for taking a shot because you're a complete and utter dumbass, equity will not aid you. Now, I know the slaves think, well, that's not fair because the insurance companies or the vaccine companies, oh shit, I said it again. They're going to take this video down. It's like a Monty Python sketch, except this is fucking reality. And this is the reality. We let it come to this. Like, oh, he said the word. Anyway, the Rona, the jab. If you went and got the thing, you're screwed. If you have any kind of because if equity does not aid a volunteer, and we'll get into that a little bit further. There's more corollary than that, right? But if the misfortune is through your own doing, equity will not aid you. And I agree. I see your point of view. I know you're thinking, well, then they shouldn't make a shot that will kill you. Well, I agree. But you shouldn't be stupid enough to take it either. Who's the fool? The scorpion for stinging you, or you for letting the scorpion sting you? Yeah, now you both drown. If you know the frog and the scorpion story. Okay, let's see here. Where equities are equal, the law will prevail. And between two equal equities, the first in order of time shall prevail. Equity will not complete an imperfect gift. If you accepted a gift and it's imperfect, you cannot use equity to complete an imperfect gift. And there's great stories about that one, actually. Equity will not allow a statute to be used as a cloak for fraud. Let me repeat that because it sounds vaguely important. Equity will not allow a statute to be used as a cloak for fraud. Equity will not allow a trust to fail for want of a trustee. Hugely important. You can fire your trustees. That doesn't mean the trustee fails. Or excuse me, that doesn't mean the trust fails because it doesn't have a trustee. There you go. The trustee is failing, by the way. And equity regards, huge one. This one, it's huge. Equity regards the beneficiary as the true owner. All right, so you need to know a little bit about that trust law, the triangles that I've been drawing and so forth, the grantor, the grantee, right? The leaseor, the leasee, the grantor, the grantee, and the trustee. Who's acting as trustee? You got to know who's acting as trustee when you walk into a court of law. Again, they want to play admiralty? Play admiralty. If you know admiralty, if you know law, the law is God, by the way. Right? Okay. What I just put there is true. And this is the other thing. All right, like that one quote when I started off, no, it was incorrect. Okay. Um, you need to be able to look into your own heart and discover what's true. That's called discernment. You know the truth when you hear it. You can be deceived by that is Satan's job. He is the grand deceiver, right? That's what he does. That's how he got as far as how we got where we are today, because the homeboy know his job. Above all, Satan is a gentleman, the devil, the Satan, the Satan. But the bottom line is the dragon. Really, are they talking about a dragon? Are they talking about that old serpent? Right? And what does it say here? Satan, which deceiveth, not who, Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. Go look around. How many people you see wearing masks? In their car by themselves. That's a Satan right there. Right? It's a consciousness. It's not a guy with a pitchfork and a red cape and a pointy hat and, no. Neither the Christ. It's a consciousness. You can accept either consciousness. You can choose to do evil. You can choose. Right? Derecha or izquierda. Oh, wow. I apologize to everyone that speaks Spanish. The word just wouldn't come out. Izquierda. Okay, anyway, the left-hand path or the right-hand path. Pick a side and be of good cheer, because when you're smiling and happy, or maybe a little angry, but overall, you laughing at your enemies, they can't eat that. There's a demon starving as I speak. Anyway, I know that's crazy talk, but the point being is that you want to be a good cheer. You want to be knowledgeable. You want to understand what the fuck it is that's going on, and the Satan is just a consciousness that I'll cheat that guy. Oh, that's not mine. I'll take it anyway. Just the fucking break room refrigerator, jackass. You're a Christian. You ain't doing that, right? It's not yours. It's not yours. In fact, you'll bring enough and then share with others, because you're supposed to lead by example and your good works. You're not supposed to be in there fucking telling everybody what to do. You can't do it, and and immediately, fuck you, fucking Christians, because it was supposed to be you were known by your good works. You set examples. You forgave your enemies. You fed the hungry. You didn't step over them in the fucking streets. And now, and I've done it because you can't help everybody. But at the same time, if everybody would do what they're supposed to do, we wouldn't have this problem. This used to be a charitable country. It's funny. I on Facebook. I shared this thing, and Crouton Ramon on Facebook. I'm the only one. So if you want to see me on Facebook, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm only there to rabble rouse and shit post. But the idea is that, we are the product on Facebook. We are not the customer. We are the product. So as long as you know that, Facebook's okay. But there's a lot of you thinking that anyway. That it's something else when you're thinking it's one thing when it's actually another thing. Anyhow, the reason why I got over to Facebook is because there's a lot of amusing stuff going on Facebook. Just because, let me just read this to you. Here, look, another loaf. The COVID survival rates by age group. 0 to 19, 99.997. 20 to 49, 99.98. 50 to 69, 99.5. 70 plus, and this is where most of the casualties have taken place, 94.6. So you still, even if you catch it and you're old, you have a better than 90% chance of surviving. If you're 0 to 19, 99.997. 0.003% chance of, right? Tenths, hundreds, thousands, 1,000ths of a percent chance of dying in that age group, and you're making them put masks on. All right. But the point of coming here is, and being on Facebook is because actually a couple of my friends have said, you woke me up. You made me, it was that one thing. I don't believe it personally that you have much chance of waking these people up because they're so freaking brain dead. And what I've just covered here, I actually put on Facebook. And that's why I came here to read this to you. So, right. Once it's seen, it cannot be unseen. Okay, so what I did was put in Revelation 7 through Revelations, what is it, 12, 7 through 12. There you go. And it's there on my page. And then I put a bunch of stuff underneath it. And actually quite a few people, I got like 9 bunch of comments. Anyway, actually, the comments are me. But let me just read this. The system of bondage is the same as it was. Wait a minute. The system of bondage is the same. It is the Roman system. The same guys are still running the show, and they figured out the best way to go about enslaving the masses was to not let the masses know they were bonded and manufacturing their consent through non-disclosure and outright fraud. Okay, they are the body snatchers. Yours is the body they snatched. There's plenty of disclosure and notice in movies. That birth certificate is a 75-year bond signed by your dear ignorant mother. Your dear ignorant old mother. You have been pledged as collateral for the bankrupt corporation you know as United States. We've been over this. When are you going to stop doing the same lesson? When you learn it. All caps, not equal to USA. This the corporation that's bankrupt, that owns you. You need to let them know, wait a minute, I didn't agree to any of this. I didn't know about this. In fact, I believe that's non-disclosure, fraudulent concealment, fraudulent conveyance of language. Let's see, misprision of felony, all kind of stuff. You don't even go there because you're never getting any remedy like that. What you're going to do is just correct the record. You're just going to go tell them that, no, I'm not dead, and no, I don't need your services anymore, and you don't have power of attorney anymore, and I have absolutely authority to do that. I can grant or revoke power of attorney over my estate at any given time. I claim this body because it's mine. You may not have it. I am not the tenant. I am the landlord of this thing. This is land. You were, in fact, try to keep up, recorded in the Book of Life in your county. Counties make up states. And you think state is, now again, you think it's one thing when it's actually another. You think that it's a land area, like the state of Hawaii. No, state of Hawaii is a state of being, is a state of mind. It can be a land area, but it's not necessarily a land area. And they absolutely play on that. So state of Hawaii, for example. The best one to help is County of Maui. And I love it if you say in Maui. But County of Maui is 3 islands. I'm on Maui right now. There's another island over there called Molokai. It is also County of Maui. There's another island over there called Lanai. It is also County of Maui. But Lanai is not Maui. It is Lanai. But it is County of Maui. Molokai. And there are some proud people there. Not really pleased to be part of County of Maui, actually. But they are County of Maui. But it's Molokai. So how is County of Maui on Molokai? It is not the land area. Right? Same thing, Puerto Rico. There's oh shoot, no, I can't remember the name of it anyway. But the name of the island is not Puerto Rico. The name of the principality, the name of the state, the name of the territory is Puerto Rico. So I'm not a resident of the County of Maui. I'm a man upon the land, but they consider me to be part of this county. This county is part of the state. The state is cut into districts. There's 2 districts in every state, and there are 100 districts, 100 senators. It's the Roman system. Same one. And you want a history lesson? Fuck, we'll be here all night. We can go back to the Phoenicians. And anyway, going way, way back, and their system of slavery and numbering humans. And the freaking Romans went, hey, that works pretty good. And they set up a whole Roman system. Oh, here's another crumb for you. Moorish Latin. There's a slang. Moorish Latin. Moorish Latin is Spanish. Yo hablo español. Esto es Moorish Latin. They're already here, guys. If you did the math, there's no way. They were here for hundreds of years. At the least, they were here 180 years ahead of Columbus. So, I mean, think about it. And that's like bullshit. It was way more than that. Go look at the names of the cities as you go up the Mississippi River. Why are they all Egyptian? Memphis. Just go look at the names of the cities and where it forks to the Missouri and the Mississippi. I mean, go look at the names of the cities. You think your fucking news is bad. You know, history is way worse. All right, anyway, there's a little nugget for you. Oh, look. He fed everybody. And then you could tell somebody else. And are you gonna, right? And you might not get it right. It's like one of my favorite things to do is take a sentence and put it into Google Translate, and then take the translated sentence and put it back in and do it a couple times, and then pretty soon it's not anywhere near what you started out with. So because it seems to me that it should translate back and forth, but I'm serious, try it just sometimes. Something simple. Don't even make it a really complicated sentence. Anyhow, where was I? The corporation, as United States. There you go. All right. Okay. So they are the body snatchers, right? And yours is the body that they snatched. BC, the birth certificate is a 75-year bond signed by your dear ignorant old mother. You have been pledged as collateral for the bankrupt corporation you know as United States. you assumed United States and the United States of America, and so you got to spell that correctly. United is an adjective. States of America. So should it be capitalized? Oh, if you capitalize it, you've turned it into a name. And if you make it all caps, oops, I don't have it up there. If you make it all caps, right? So, let's make it United. What part of English is United? So then it should be this. And if you go look at the original documents, how did they punctuate it? They fuck us with grammar. It's unbelievable, but they do. So you gotta read this thing, and look, it's not a thin. Right, you ain't getting through it tomorrow. So you might want to spend a little time studying what this thing says. And for you people that outside the United States, yours is the Oxford Manual of Styles. Same book. If you read them, it's almost exactly the same. But there's a little difference between the British Isles, the way they speak English, and the way we speak English in the United States. Okay, you were split in two. Through fraudulent conveyance of language, you were unlawfully converted from lessor to leasee. You are a tenant. Look on every fucking document you have. Tenants in common, tenants with joint rights of survivorship, right? It never says owner. They claim your physical body, and they have done this all with your consent. Not without it, with your consent. They assume that you are consenting because they haven't heard different. Did your mommy sign that? Yep, she did. Well, that was consent. Did you come back and say when you were 18 or 25, excuse me? No, you didn't. So you are considered to be consenting. They don't know different. And you can't just stand up and say, no, I don't consent. You should be able to. I'll agree. I won't argue the point either. You ought to be able to just say, I don't consent. And they should be able to go, okay. But that's not how it works. And there's a lot of people that have tried, and I just cringe when I see it on right here on the YouTubes, where they're in court just completely fucking making ass, and the judge is just like, yeah, whatever, slave. Okay, are you done? Are you through? All right, take him away. And you don't know enough to not. Anyway, I've had a judge vacate the courtroom. And as I said, I've had one time when they won't let me in. Now, I'm pretty confident that if you step off your square, and we got to talk about that in a minute because these fucking Masons and they're fucking. Ugh. Anyway, how long have I been going? Plenty of time. I'm going a couple more. I'm going for broke tonight. But like I said, it's not a fucking literal story. I'm giving you fishes and loaves, right? And we got to talk about health. Let's take a break here on the because Actually, let's finish that and then we'll take a break and we'll go down the health road a little bit because, brah. Okay, anyway, so let's see here. Where was I? So you got to get yourself from, see, and I used to set these up, tenants in common. I have the documents here that I can show you. Oh, that's my Treasury Direct account. What I've been doing. Oh, and every time it fucking works. I get so tired of people that are just like, that's conspiracy theory. I found my bonds. I have mailed myself 3 stamp letters. I have written the IRS and asked them if they understood the fact that I was living, not dead. What does this say? This is my Happy Passbook. What does it say? It says joint tenants with rights of survivorship. Look on every document you have from every institution. You own nothing. That bullshit story that, oh, you own nothing and you're going to be... You already own nothing. You just think you do. Now they're going to make it so that you don't just think you do. No. Even if you think you do, you don't. I'm trying to spit that out. Holy crap. Anyway, but the idea being is you think you own stuff now. You're sure you own stuff now. You think you own your property. Well, then why do you fucking have to ask permission to put my landlord has to ask permission to put a wall up? Why? Oh, because it's not his property. He's a tenant on the property. So if he's going to put a fixture on their property, he needs permission to do so because it's not yours. That's your property. That's your car. That's your bank account. That's any fucking thing. You are a tenant. You are not an owner. You might want to correct the record. Just saying. Okay. So yeah, and again, you're considered to be consenting because they don't know any different. You're also considered to be dead because you didn't inform them that you weren't. Your continued silence is considered consent. That's a maximum of law also. Consent agrees. Excuse me, silence agrees. And consent does agree. That was a true statement, but that's not what I meant to say. Anyway, the consent is uniform, is uninformed, right? The consent is uninformed consent, but it is still consent nonetheless, because ignorance of the law is no excuse, even if it was right. That's another maxim. Ignorance of the law is no excuse, even if it was your consent that is considered to be a matter of record because of your silence, right? They haven't heard different. You correct the record, right? By the word of their testimony. How do you defeat the Satan? Let's go back and read. Bang you over the head with it, right? And prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, and was cast out unto the earth, or excuse me, was cast out into the earth. Not onto the earth, into the earth. Pay attention. You're going to start finding out about dumbs. What are them dumbs? I always call them or dumps, deep underground military bases, but dumbs, right? And usually dubs is what we call them, the deep underground bases. Never been to one. Well, I've been to the top of a couple of them, but I've never actually been down inside one. And I just knew that there was stuff down there because the elevator that I was in had lots and lots of buttons going, and right. And anyway, same thing at the Getty. That was a total accident there too. They do stuff underground, folks. Anyway, was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him. This is Revelations 11, right? 11, Revelations 11. Wait, no, wrong. Revelations 12, 11. There you go. God, can't even make a Bible. I don't know what's going on tonight. Anyway, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Okay, so maybe you should testify to yourself. You need to make declarations. You need to know what that means. And then you need to give them the chance to prove you wrong. And you need to tell them thrice. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Okay, am I going to leave this out? And you don't have to be a Christian. You can be a Muslim. You can be a Buddhist. You can be it doesn't really work too well if you're agnostic, but you can still get out. Right? So you have to correct their record. Correct your record and reclaim your sovereignty. And you're not sovereign over anyone else but this, the sovereign of one, and see the sovereignty of the people as a group. There's your state of mind. Okay. Let's take a break. We'll take a break from all this heavy law stuff. But Sue Wrongdoers homepage. I put it up there. Go take a look at it, right? Right. Hold these wrongdoers to account. Quit being chicken shit. All right. I suggest you find out about this stuff. And yes, this is inert plastic, and the next one I'm going to get, this was given to me, so I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, but the next one all right, so let's talk about equity right there. Let's say this was given to me and I accepted it and I used it, and it wasn't really this kind of plastic that doesn't cause, or that doesn't leach, because this is a super solvent. So it would leach any kind of chemicals out of this, especially the ones BSPs and so forth, if it was the kind of plastic that had that in there, and those get into your body and confuses them because it looks like hormones. And anyway, point being is that if I were to sue the lady because of that, no, equity, it was a gift. Equity will not complete an imperfect gift. Yeah. All right, but it's not the case. I'm just using that as an example. But the idea being is that this is DMSO, and you should spend some time doing your research on DMSO. I will give you a couple of links if you want, but I mean, just type DMSO into the search bar here at the tubes, and you'll get some great testimony. I mean, just spend some time. Most of them are like 5-10 minutes long, and there's a bajillion research papers on this if you want to do that. I mean, literally, like. Why again? Because you can't patent it, because it's super cheap. They don't want you knowing about it. It's just basically what does it say? Oh, it's CH3SO, dimethyl sulfate, or dimethyl sulfate. Wait a minute, dimethyl sulfoxide. There you go. DMSO. It is more sulfur, right? Just another kind of sulfur, and holy crap. Use with discernment, use sparingly, understand that this shit is super potent and it is awesome. Awesome. What's it for? Joint pain, arthritis pain, detox, getting heavy metals out of your system. You can take it orally, but you better be careful. Cleaning out your guts. You can use it topically. You can use it, right? And this is not medical advice. I'm telling you what I've read and what I've seen. And I spent hours reading because I try to tell you, these fuckers will try to tell you that, it's just anecdotal evidence. Well, I like reading the reviews on Amazon and, various places where people can leave reviews about the products. Crap, I can't remember the name of the other site. But anyway, there's lots of those. And see, they'll try to tell you that those people are the more credible source when I can point to 20 women that I know personally, and probably 200 more on top of that. But just off the top of my head, I can name the Shaylins, and I can name the Lisa, and Holly, and Adrienne, and I mean, I can go on and on and on. I mean, right? It's going to take a while for it all to come, especially when I'm under pressure doing the video and stuff like that. But I can name at least 20 moms who have older children who did get because they were ignorant and they didn't know, and then have younger children that never got anything, never got it right, and the younger children are by far healthier. But you will believe the guys that sell this shit over a mom's own testimony. Because, it's just anecdotal evidence. Where's the scientific studies? Authority. They got you to believe in authority. Now you're fucked. And you see how fucked we are when you look around out there at people that believe the authority don't understand the bonding system. They're worth more dead, especially the older ones. The ones that are over 75, absolutely worth more dead than alive. Useless eaters that need being removed. They don't want you healthy. They don't want you curing yourself. Super cheap. It'll cure with a C a lot of shit. Sarah Westall. I don't know if this is the best stuff or not. It's awfully pricey, but I can tell you that I've noticed a difference with this. This is good stuff. This is C60. Find out about C60. Buckyballs. Buckminster Fullerings. See, you want to give yourself the basic building blocks. Okay, this, I just got it because I watched the infomercial like 5 times and did some research as I went along. And yeah, this is Gundry. Gundry is a straight shooter. He really did work pretty hard on this product to try and figure out how to get it to where it belongs. It's butyrol. Butyrol fixes leaky gut, and leaky gut is a lot of the problem. So will this will help too. This helps fix your inside. And then this you will find it's just regular old sulfur. I talk about it constantly, right? I've had people give me flowers. I'm not kidding. Heartfelt thanks with tears in their eyes because I turned them onto this. Oh, look, it's a fish I gave you. Oh, wait, maybe that's a loaf. I don't know. Anyway, but the idea is now you can go tell somebody else. Are you going to go hungry now? Yeah. Once you give them the knowledge, do you forget? Or do you still know about this sulfur? Do you still know about this? I'm telling you, this is um, for me, not so much, but I just know that I eat a lot of food that has the lectins in there that can cause leaky gut. But I know I'm pretty fairly healthy, but I'm sure I have some issues there. And I didn't necessarily get it for me. I got it for two other people that I know that absolutely have leaky gut because every time they tell me their symptoms, I know they have leaky gut. This will fix your leaky gut or help to fix your leaky gut. I'm not prescribing anything. I'm not a doctor. And I'm never going to be a doctor. And those fuckers have turned against us. Oh, one more. Eesh. Yep. I just picked this one. I don't know if it's the best or not. There's 105 of them. Collagen. I remember when I wanted collagen and you couldn't get it. And now you can get hundreds of different kinds. I mean, from different companies and so forth. They're basically all the same thing. Collagen. You want to not look 57? Collagen. Let's see here. Told you I got all kind of stuff with show and tell today. Shit works. I don't know if you've seen the infomercials for these, but I got them just because works. The trick is placement, though. You got to put it exactly right, or they don't work. And if you don't know what they are, oh well. But I'm telling you, they work, right? And it's a Kylo. That's what it is. Okay. Let's see here. Shall we get back to law? But that was my little commercial break. Yeah, I put them in the middle because the ain't no human gonna get in this long and report me. So anyway, because we're already $1.16 in. All right, let's see here. Did I talk about theta enough? I didn't talk about theta enough. Do your research on theta. Let's just take a look real quick. It was $8, which is where my silly goofy girlfriend put $2,000 in, and I was like, "Don't put it all in," and she put it all in. Anyway, so nobody knows about this yet. It is 7:05 as we speak. Oh, wait a minute. Let me refresh the page and see. Oh, $6.95. Buy. Oh my God, buy. That is not investment advice. But I didn't put very much money into this, and I think I already got 20,000 in theta. Because it used to be 65 cents and now it's 6.95. Do the freaking math. And then better than that, if you go, oh, let me just put it in here. Let's put it in here. You can't buy this on Coinbase, and you'll have to figure out how to buy it. It's beyond my pay grade to tell you how to do it. I've been talking about this thing for quite a while from Bixweir. This is 100% Bixweir. This is not my genius. It's his genius. And then figuring out that, yeah, this is the freaking real deal Holyfield right here. Nothing's going to happen. Holy crap, you guys have been going on and on. All right. There's that. Yeah, there you go. It'll clear your skin up. It'll do all kind of stuff. Wow, this thing's... And again, appreciate you guys. Somebody gave me, I mean, the Patreon and all that kind of... Totally appreciate it. And so there you go. See, some of you guys, you get the fish and loaves and you feel obligated to pay for the fish and loaves. You don't have to, right? The best way, rather than try to pay me back, is to pay it forward, right? That little information about not grabbing an electrical wire, that could save somebody's life. And that just makes sense. Use the back of your hand. I mean, just stupid little stuffs. The fact that you're not doing anything crazy, you're just correcting the record. And see, they can claim plausible deniability, and you don't have to be vindictive about it. I'm at the point where I think we need to be a little vindictive because these guys are on the ropes right now. They really are. Hard men in hard places right now doing hard things that are hard, and people dying. And some of the stories I've heard just make my blood boil because okay. Get it through your fucking heads. These guys don't play fair. They're Satanists. Yes, they'll set traps and kill your guys. Yes, they will. Simple as that. Don't trust them any farther than you can throw them by the dick. because the idea is these people will burn the fucking thing down so they can rule over the ashes before they'll give it back to us. You need to understand that. And they don't want it. It's not about money. It's never been about the money. It's been about the control the whole time. They have all the money. They have all the land. You don't own anything. They own everything under your feet. They claim to own you. It's never been about the money. And now that you're waking up, well, fuck it then. They'll burn the place down. And see, in the earth, that's what action is right now. Not on the earth, in the earth. And there's a big difference. But yeah, we're finding out about this stuff. My girlfriend has always been called a conspiracy theorist because, see, she saw one, and everything changed after that. Just on accident, the laser beam coming down from the sky, directed energy weapons. They're admitting that they have them now, and you've seen evidence in California of it, where the houses are burned, but the trees are green. Okay. We always call them these deep underground bases. Some call them deep underground military bases. Turns out they exist. Stories are coming out that there's these things that they're so huge and cavernous you can like fly planes in them, like our planes, not like special spaceships or anything. But if you can get a plane down there, it's big enough that the thing can take off and fly around. I mean, everything is a lie. Everything they've told us is a lie. That's why spelunking is such a thing, where most of the time they won't let you explore caves to go into the Underdark. And it's not just crazy conspiracy theory from everything I've heard. And like I said, I've been to the tops. I'm going to stop talking about that. But Denver Airport, that is the top of a dome. The Getty is a way in there. And more. There's more. There's many of them. They have a system, an underground network system that they think they're going to save themselves with from this whole other thing that I'm not going to talk about. But that's part of the reason they get some of these people. Hey, if you do our bidding and you get to a certain rank and you're a good boy, we'll let you and your family live in this thing, and then they'll survive, and then they won't die. And they don't have to be baby rapers or Satanists or anything. They just have to want to love their family and want to protect them. And they'll do what they're told, because so as long as they're guaranteed that spot. Oh, here's another little crumb. There's like 50 different cultures that consider the moon an arc. What? An arc. In other words, it was a boat, and that's how we got here, is the moon, from their ancient legends. That's just crazy talk. Those primitive people, they make up all kinds of stories about stuff they don't understand. Turns out the Dogon, study those guys. Holy crap. Okay. I'm just rambling because it's Sunday night and I'm feeling good. Let's go over a couple of these just for the fun of it. And like I said, I got to get you a PDF that you can print, so you can print this out. Let's see here. By due course of law, an open court, and the available remedy under the law for all injuries or wrongs. Now you need to go look up wrongs. What are wrongs as compared to rights? And this is the thing you might want to put in your documents. Correct me if I'm wrong. You give them the opportunity to correct you if you're wrong. If you've made spurious and stupid statements like, I'm not a slave, don't put that in there. What you're doing is breaking your bonds, right? And again, straw man, that's another word you don't want to use. They don't recognize straw man. In Legis, they recognize that word, right? But don't use their dead. Don't use the language of the dead. Use your English language, but use the English language and know what each one of your words means, right? Oh, and I didn't put the other one in here. Okay, you cannot buy these on Coinbase yet. These are coins that nobody knows about. When they find out what they can do your research. Oh, go find Bix Weir on you right here on the tubes, or go to the Road to Ruta. That's it. I had that up. This is uncompensated and unsolicited, so it's not like Bix sent me over here or anything. I don't get anything out of it other than the fact that we can fight these guys if you have funds, but you cannot fight these guys if you do not have funds. This coin, the ones that I put in there, well, I don't know about T-Fuel, but I guarantee you Theta itself, well, I can't guarantee anything, but it's going to be bigger than Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin won't work unless Theta. This thing does everything Ethereum says it can do and more. It does it better, faster, cheaper. Right now, I have got like 2,500 coins sitting on a. Oh God damn! I don't know the lingo. Earning interest is what I would call it, but that's not what it is. Where is that? Yeah, there you go. Staking. There you go. I've got 2,500 coins staked on Theta. That means they're earning T-Fuel. You're your own banker now. The bankers are dying. They're on the ropes. But make no mistake, they told you what this is. Does this sound like money for the living? I mean, just using your common sense and thinking skills. Does crypto sound like money for the living? Just saying. Okay, so let's see here. Articles of the piece. Yeah, let's not read all the definitions. Let's go over some of the words that are more that I would do. Forgiveness, huge legal term, right? And forgiveness, reconciliation, condemnation, pardon, property, huge, property, huge. Got to know what property is. Let's see here. Malicious and maliciously, malice in law. Contracts mala prohibita. Yeah, freaking Masons. This is supposed to be the black one, in case you were wondering. Because, just because they're on the left-hand path doesn't mean they don't stay on their square, right? Well, they don't, but they do. All right, so we're going to do it this way. Let's see here. This is, all right, so here's your square. Here's, right on this side, we're going to make it this way. We're going to turn the square, and we're going to say this is mischief in your contracts, right? You're not supposed to have mischief in your contracts. No mischief in your contracts. No mischief in your contracts. No mischief in your contracts. All right. Do not disturb the peace. No disturb the peace. That's the other side of your square. Okay. Loss. Don't cause anybody any loss. Harm. Don't cause anybody any harm. That's your square. When you see this square, it's usually going to be a pedestal in we'll see in most of the memes that the Masons do. You'll see these pedestals. Okay, you're supposed to know that's your square, and you stand on that square. And when you stand on that square, you stand over the jungle. You stand over the others because you're on your pedestal and you're on your square. But if you step off your square, you'll fall down here and you will be subject to judgment. Okay, so here in the mischief in contracts, oh, that birth certificate, pretty big mischief in the contract, right? So they must provide you a remedy because equity will provide you a remedy. They don't have to tell you what the remedy is. They don't have to tell you how to do it. And here's the other thing: when it comes to these guys, once a lot of us start figuring out the remedy, they change the remedy. Simple as that. They change the laws. Used to be, well, I'm not going to get into it because you'll think that you somehow misconstrue it that you can still do it. But no, a lot of the things that used to work 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago do not work anymore when it comes to getting out, when it comes to applying for certain status change. All right, so what you are right now is over here in the dark. And Kue has told you, I don't know, 10,000 million times, dark to light. Okay, these guys are Masons. This checkerboard square is their thing. And I've done it numerous times. Talked about this a couple of times. Masonic symbols. It's that checkerboard. Okay, so what you guys are going to do through this paperwork is you're going to go from dark to light. You're going to come out, and I don't think they're going to do it for you. I'm pretty confident you're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to do the reading. You're going to have to do the understanding. You're going to have to look up the words. You're going to have to re-educate yourself because the bankers that own you did not want you knowing even these 300 words. Certainly didn't want you reading this. I mean, this is just old, archaic bullshit. It's in every fucking courtroom in every fucking state, in every fucking county, in every place right, and in Canada and in Mexico. It just happens to be in Spanish, and in Europe, and every fucking where there's law, because God is law. But don't read the thing. That's crazy. That's why those there. It's so out of date. You person. I mean, you'll embarrass somebody if you claim to be a man or a woman or a man with a womb, because there isn't anything but men on this planet. Period. There are men and there are men with wombs, but they're all men. And when you say you're not a man, now they got you. So what are you, a person? Okay, cool. What is a person? Maybe you want to look the word up. Okay. Oh boy. Inherent power. That's probably a good one. Trespass ab initio. And just ab initio in the first thing. Just look up what is ab initio, right? From the beginning. From the initiation, from the start. Perpetuity. Huge one. Huge one. I guarantee you, lawyers. I remember a couple of my lawyer friends, because I used to have this, I'll skip his name, but I used to have this lawyer friend because we were roommates in college, and now he's moved on to bigger and better things. But he would sit there, and I remember when in the class when they talked about what do you call perpetuity, and then I had another friend, erstwhile, because he's a dumbass Biden supporter. Ugh, anyway, can't get over that. But oh wait, let me confuse the Biden is a great president. Confuse the algorithm. But the idea is that when he found out about the word perpetuity, both of these guys, we had to have conversations about it because they were so surprised. Anyway, perpetuity, big word. Learn it. Learn about the concepts that go with it. Let's see here. Rule against perpetuities. Unjust enrichment. Restitution. And restitution integrum. Restoration of the record. Restoration rule. Improperly. Yeah, it's time for you to go to bed because this is Sunday and you got school tomorrow. So you got like a minute, literally. You're going to just chalk it up. Fortunately, on Tuesday, you're going to earn some money to pay me back. Boy pays by the minute. Anyway, implied assignment. Implied banker's lien. Right? Well, implied. Just look up implied. Right? The difference between implied and express. Let's see here. Implied bias, implied coercion, implied lots of stuff. Look up implied. Let's see here. Oh, suggest. I suggest you learn these words. Is land kind of an important one? Good night. Good night. Love you, boy. Get some sleep. You got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. I know. And you got a lot more stuff to do the day after that. So get in bed. When he was little, he told me that he was nocturnal. I am nocturnal. Go to bed. I'm nocturnal, Dad. I was like 6. Anyway. Incorporation. Incorporating state. And you might look them up in more than one law dictionary. Just saying. And then compare. And it turns out Bouvier is the shitty one. This is why the Supreme Court uses it. Let's see here. People. There's a rather important one. Party. There's another one. Onerous and onerous deeds. And deed. Look up that, right? Because you're going to do a deed, right? Do the deed. To do. I mean, it doesn't mean what you think it means. You think it's like something to do with the only thing it has to do with is a piece of property, and a deed to route. Look up what the word means. This is something you done did. And what you got to done do is tell them that you ain't dead. Correct the record. It's not this big of a deal. It's not something scary. Just correct the record. You're not dead. Right of approach. Ooh, right of appearance too. It's not here though. Right of private property. Right of reentry. Rights of things. There's 300 words here. We're up in the 170s now. Political, and it's not in any particular order. You'll notice it's not there. I mean, well, it is kind of sort of. Once you start getting into this, you'll see that there's a method to his madness. The guy was mad, but he was mad in the best possible way. Inherent right, inherent power. There, we already talked about that. Unlawful accumulation. Vacate. I did. I made a judge vacate. He decided he didn't want to be in there anymore, and he wasn't going to adjourn, and I just fucking left. I'm out. Looked up, and he wasn't there anymore. That's called vacating. And see, I was so stupid back then. I didn't know what to do. Everybody was shocked. We all just stood there with our mouths hanging open and said, "Well, I guess we'll go home now." And literally, we all kind of like shuffled out of the courtroom. Null and void. Nullity. War bond. War. Receipt for transportation. There's a good one. Bond. There's another one. Bond holder, bond, everything that has to do with bond. Look up bonds. See, I used to think I knew about bonds because I had a securities license and I used to sell bonds. But turns out I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. See, just smart enough to pull the levers, right? But you don't know what they do. Anyway. So look up bond and bond holder and bond issue and all that, all everything to do with bonds and debentures. Constructive notice, constructive fraud, constructive. There's another word, constructive. You got to know constructive, right? That's a huge word. And again, you got to understand these concepts, and it will all start to gel together once you get like the maxims in equity. Once you start getting these words down, you'll start to see, yeah, there's this whole other world out there that we were ignorant of that was going on right underneath our noses, and we have been subject to it. And a lot of people have been caused a lot of grief and suffering because they were ignorant of it. And once you start taking back, this is all part of taking back your power. And it is spiritual in nature, believe it or not, because God is law. So you are studying law, you are studying God. So maybe this book come in handy. There's a lot of other stuff I wanted to talk about here tonight, but I think I'm gonna blackmail, black rents, black. Find out about that word, black. Black means you have no standing. So you want to go from dark to light. We're going from dark to light. Not everybody, obviously. There's a lot of them that ain't gonna make it. You don't want to be one of them. They get this. If they're that, okay. let's go down the crazy path. Let's just fall down the rabbit hole, shall we? There's only 8 of us, and we're an hour and 39 in. So let's just take. And I'm amazed too. And it's fucking late over there. But anyway, unless you guys are all here in Hawaii, because it's only 10:30 here. But let's say we had DNA that was special. We had like really coveted DNA. That grew on this planet, and just never mind anything else, never mind consciousness, never mind the fact that we're monkeys that can talk, never mind the banana grabbers that we got, never mind any of that stuff, just the DNA that they're interested in. Okay, so they're interested in the DNA. What could you come over here and conquer the place, the whole planet, and set up a system wherein you farm this DNA and sell it? Now, what if the things that had the DNA weren't going to be terribly partial to that idea? Because we don't like giving our DNA away to others. But if you were going to give away this DNA, and the DNA has everything in it, the history of the universe, all of it, from everything from the beginning of time till now, and it was pretty much pristine. Let's put it that way. It's been fucked with a little bit, but it's pretty much 90% of it is pristine. Okay, so would you want the DNA that because everything they tell you about DNA is a lie too, just a fucking complete bullshit. But all right, but let's say that they sequenced all the DNA, and no, they didn't, and then they said, oh, 90% of it's junk. Because God just didn't need any of that 90 other. We're just running on the 10%, right? No, but okay. So the point being is, if you've got this DNA that you want to farm, would you want to be able to differentiate between? And the most common DNA, as it turns out, is very compliant, very obedient, very unquestioning, trusting, believes in authority, wants a savior God, all that stuff. Okay. And then there's this other one that's not quite as common. In fact, it's pretty rare, and it's defiant. It's fuck you. I won't do what you tell me. Won't be told what to do. Will not consent to slavery, even if it's in their interest. will not agree. Okay. Okay. So if you're buying DNA, if you're looking for servants and servers, and yeah, this is kind of DNA we want. If you're looking for warriors, and you're looking for military, and you're looking for that kind of stuff, and you gotta keep a handle on it, but you want that more than this one, maybe you want this. I would guarantee you this one's higher priced than this one, because this one isn't as common. In fact, it's fairly rare as you look around and you see those that, and then there's the ones that are really on the spectrum of complete compliance. Oh, I'll go get, sure, why not? It's completely, wah, I got hurt. Fuck. Wait, all right, so are you following me here? Because this is complete crazy talk, because certainly there are no others that would want to buy DNA. But just maybe, possibly in the infinite world of infinite possibilities and an infinitely infinite universe, there might possibly be others that want the DNA. Just saying. And there might be others of us who are fucking traitors, who would supply it to them and set up a system that made sure that you were never the wiser, none the wiser ever. Crazy talk. It's only just coming to the consciousness that there could be space aliens. There's only just coming to the consciousness that, yeah, if we've been here forever, there might be cultures out there that are so fucking far technologically advanced compared to us that all we consider it is magic. And just because they're technologically advanced doesn't mean they're on the right-hand path. Doesn't mean they're not evil as fuck. But no, we want all the others to be benevolent and love us and come here to save us. as we cook steaks. I'm going to have sausage a little later. I love sausage. It's ground up body parts of dead animals. It's fucking delicious with some spice in there. Mmm. Guess what? There are others that look at us just like that. That's crazy talk, I know. We're the top of the food chain. We're the best thing that's ever been. There's never been anything better than us ever in the history of ever. There's nothing up there. Just us. You only been here once. Lies, 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 and more damn lies. Oh, I was just listening to, I got to find it though, because I listen to so damn many of them. Manly P. Hall, my new favorite Mason. Got several Masons. They're learned men. Fuck all y'all. They are learned. They hold the secret knowledge. Some they share and some they don't share. But the idea that the words translated. Oh, I never finished this thought, I don't think. But the idea of you going from black to white, the way you're going to get there is through the contracts. Right? The wall, the barrier that they have, this thing right here is the contracts. Right? And there's mischief in their contracts. So you can get out, but you have to correct the record. And then you have to create contracts, and then you have to be as good as your word. But we're getting out. Well, again, not everybody. That's why I got off on that tangent. Because not everybody's getting that. Some of the people, you'll want to stay over here. Some of you want over here. Okay, I want to be over here. I want to be in the white. I want to be in the light. I want to be free. I want to be sovereign over my own self. I don't want to tell you what to do. Fuck you. Do what the fuck you want. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. You want to fuck guys in the ass? Not my problem. Try to be safe about it and not kill others. But I mean, I don't care. What the fuck has it got to do with me? Like you don't like fucking men because you're it's fine. I completely agree with you. Right? I don't like fucking men either. I got no issue with you at all. I hate it when they're like super good looking and sexy and stuff like that, and you don't have anything to do. I hate that, but I mean that's not my problem either. Again, do what the fuck you want. You are sovereign over your own self, supposedly, but no, most of you can't even stand up for that much. And then you try to say stupid shit like, "Oh, I'm a sovereign," and you try to make it sound like you're sovereign over it. No, no, no. Sovereign is a very lonely place. Sovereign is one. So emperors can be sovereign. Kings can be sovereign. But the sovereignty of this nation, the sovereignty of United States of America, is inherent in the people as a group. We are sovereign individuals and living individuals who are sovereign, but not all living individuals are men. But all men can be considered living individuals. Not all persons are men, but all men can be persons. And it doesn't work. It doesn't go both ways. Right? Because United States is a person. Apple Computer is a person. Name it. Life Vantage is a person. Is this a corporation? I don't know if it is or not. If it's an LLC, it's a person. Or the people that make this are persons. But it's men and women that are at the base of all things. Right? So you need to understand that just because they're persons, they're not men. But men can be persons, but persons don't necessarily have to be men. So it's that same thing. It works that way with a lot of different of these definitions and words. A living thing, a living individual can be a man, and a man can be a living individual, but not all living individuals are men. Okay? All right. So, so many ways to go. And so many ways to get there. What else did I want to tell you guys? I think that's actually going to cover it. I've gone on long enough. It's an hour and 49. I actually covered a bunch of just shotgun approach of all kind of fun stuff. Words and health stuff and all kind of fun stuff. What else can I cover? There seems like as soon as I watch this, I'm going to go back and watch it, and then I'll be like, I should have covered this, and I should have talked about that. But you should really spend some time learning the definitions of those words, which means I really got to figure out how to take that PDF and upload it to my website, and I'll put it here. It'll be here. Give me 24 hours, and I will put the definitions there. And again, as I started off this video, trust but verify. The guy that put that up, he was earnest. I was also earnest, but I went back and checked it, and turns out, yes, and see, perfect. Now you understand the definition. The Hawaiian saying, wrong but true. There was no Supreme Court case in 1795 that said that, but everything in that paragraph is true. They can only deal with corporate fictions. So if you consider yourself to be a corporate fiction, well, they can deal with you. If you're not a corporate fiction and you let them know this ahead of time, not surprising them. See, and that's called ambush. That's the other thing. You create controversy there, and mischief in the contract, basically, because you walk in the court and they're expecting one thing and you give them another. Now, so what you should have done is, before you got into the courtroom, you tell them that, oh, by the way, I'm a man. And then they wouldn't let you in there anyway, because they don't deal with the living. They only deal with the dead. I've proven this now beyond a shadow of a doubt to myself and others, and through others also. But yeah, they don't want a living man. They don't want you in proprio persona in their courtroom. They do if you're fucking ignorant and you say stupid shit and you haven't got and they'll know, but they will know if you are an ignorant one. But if you are a in proprio persona and you're a man that actually has some knowledge and they know you have some knowledge, well, they don't want you in there. They don't want to deal with you. And so you inform them when you walk in. And so that whole thing where you walk in there and let them know that you're appearing specifically, not generally, and that you are in proprio persona, that you are not defendant, that you are not plaintiff generally. Well, see, that's what I mean. Why would you use the courts once you know this? Because you're trying to get remedy for some kind of wrong, because you couldn't work it out as between two men. So now you're going to go in there as corporate fictions and beef with each other. Oh, and that's the thing too. Like I said, once you get your status changed, now they can hear you. Now you can stand up in court and say, I accuse. Now you can point out the mischief in their contracts. Now you can have a de jure court hear you. Right now, you can't have a de jure court hear you because you dead. You a dead thing. You are chattel property. You are pledged to the bankers. You got nothing to say. They claim to be able to speak law to you. Right? They claim jurisdiction over you. They do not have subject matter jurisdiction over the living. But they do have they consider themselves to have subject matter jurisdiction over the, oh, that was the other thing I got to talk about, is the fact that you got to let the Pope know. And many times after that, I had a whole video on this. They said, we own your soul. They own the battery. They own the whole fucking thing. They don't. So now they're not just claiming the body. They're claiming the thing, the spark of life. Right? That thing. See, in the Hawaiians, they recognize ha'ole. The system is ha'ole, without breath. The Indians, they talk about the what is that, outlaw Josie Wales, about the paper can't hold the iron. The paper can't hold the word. If you don't have your word, you have nothing. That's why I like Montana and Idaho and that area up there. Handshake. We did deals on handshakes, because if you didn't keep your word, nobody would deal with you after that. Those men understood the concept of, if I tell you that so much cattle for so much hay, or so many cattle for so much timber, or whatever fucking swaps they were doing up there, you better keep your word. Simple. Because if you don't have your word, you got nothing. All right. So keeping your word is part of keeping your word. That breath is you don't know my soul. And I got a whole letter that I've written out and so forth, and I was going to try to write it in Latin, but my Latin is so piss poor, but I can't do it. But the bottom line is, you don't own my soul. You don't own this body. How fucking dare you? But in 1302, they said, nope, we're the vicars of Christ and the Christ, right? They didn't say Jesus Christ. They said the vicars of Christ. When we own your soul, and for your own good, because you'll fuck it up, and you'll see. There's multiple ways to look at this, by the way, because there are those that believe, and I don't. I'm not one of them, by the way, but I'm just telling you that they literally were trying to save you, because if they claimed your soul, then you couldn't give it to the devil. Right? So they were actually trying to do-gooders. They were trying to make it so that, oh, we claim that soul because that ignorant savage will fucking wind up selling his soul to the devil, and we don't want that. But that's not the way it works out in practice, and it has devolved into a whole other fucking horrifying thing. Horrifying. Anyway, they claimed your soul in 1302. And in multiple people, century after century, until culminating in 1666, where they fucking actually set up a Sedicate trust for you, because they had claimed your soul, and now they were claiming your body. Okay, so you got to go back and look at your history. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Like I said, we got time, right? Sunday night. I don't have students tomorrow morning, so I'm why I'm doing this. But anyway, the Phoenicians. Oh crap! I'd have to draw a map, and I can't do it, because especially not on the fly, it takes me forever. But all right, so here's the boot. See what I mean? Oh my God, there's the boot of Italy. And over here, there's this little place that we like to call Rome, and the Roman Empire. And then way up here, there's these other guys, and that's the Phoenicians. And their numbering system, and the black popes and the black kings, and right here up in the Adriatic, and they are descendants from the Phoenicians. We call this place Venice, Phoenicia, Venetia, Venice. Yeah, that's where it comes from. The Phoenicians polluted these guys, to say the least, with their doctrines of slavery and merchandising and so forth. Merchandising, that's the ticket. And they basically have a bloodline of 13 families, 12 or 13, depending on who you're talking to. 12. Notice the 12 again. And from there, they basically tried to enslave the world. Well, didn't try. They successfully enslaved most of the world. And their system of slavery is still in place. And these are the same Phoenicians going back through time to Sumer and Egypt, and right, because they went from that middle valley, and from there they basically they just colonized the fucking planet. They colonized the whole thing, and the way they do it. See, trying to explain this to my girlfriend. She's in Fiji, and she notices. We can't get too heavily into it because I'll get her in trouble. But she notices that a lot of the Fijians, the pure Fijians, are not Masons, and the colonials are not necessarily Masons, but the half-breeds are heavily Masons, and they have the same thing. Anyway, I'm censoring myself so I'm not making any complete sentences. I sound like Biden at the moment. But the idea being is that they understand that this is just a body that's got a soul, right? It's a consciousness. So they bring in the consciousness, and they bring it in through the brotherhoods, and then the brotherhoods tempers the consciousness, forms the consciousness, gives it form, gives it understanding, and gives it instruction and learning. It doesn't matter what the body is if you have that mindset. So they can be learned or they can be ignorant. And all of us, right? So most of us are ignorant. A very few of us are learned. And many of those people that control and have that knowledge come from the brotherhoods that come all the way back from Phoenicia that colonized this whole fucking planet. And this has been going on for at least 1400 years. The Khazarian mafia is basically losing control of their grip. And again, I don't even know if I can say that. I'm pretty sure I can say that. As most of the people, that's just considered conspiracy theory. But the idea is we're at the point now where they literally have us where we can't say certain words, right? Absolute control. It's always been about the control. Never about the money. Always about the control. Get it through your heads. They want to control you. And they get dupe delight out of making you think that so and so is a man when it's actually a woman, or so and so is a woman when it's actually a man. Or they can get you to put the mask on, or they can get you to harm your own children by thinking you're protecting them. Oh, they love that. They love that. They're just like, just think about little demons. Just think about little shitty fucking demons. Right? They're just like, we got them to hurt their own kids. We get them to fight. Anyway, this Phoenicians and their 12 fucking bloodlines are running the place and have been. And part of the reason why they've been running the place, dare I go there, is because they've had superior technology. Go read the Book of Enoch. It's pretty clear to me that guy, their suits, their garments, weren't just suits and garments. When one guy is fighting against the city and they're throwing stones and rocks and spears, and it's just the one guy. No, they're not trying to make it like the Jews are super. They had technology. They somehow stumbled across technology. Or maybe it was given to them. And a lot of you go through history thinking about technology and lightning bolts coming out of nowhere at very, depending on your what side you're on, opportune or inopportune times. They've been with us forever. And again, if you understand the concept that we've been here forever, and there are others that have been here for a very long time, they didn't just start making contact, at Roswell. They've been with us forever and ever. As long as we've been here, they've been here. And there's all kinds of pacts and agreements and all kind of shit that us peasant slaves aren't privy to. We are product. And they make us think, right? And they keep us entertained and they keep us pretty well fed. But they figured out that they could, in large groups, there's a great picture on my website. If you go over, not my website, but on my Facebook page. Certainly not my website. It's their website. Again, I'm the product, but I'm trying to give you some product that you can write some fishes and loaves. The words don't mean what you think they mean. But anyway, if you scroll on there, you'll find a picture from the 70s of a beach scene. I think it's Atlantic City or something like that, the boardwalk. Ain't a fat person there. Americans. All, just regular looking humans, not fat, not obese. I remember when you used to have to go to the circus to see an obese person. Now all I got to do is go to Walmart or Costco. They got the fucking little carts because these fucking people waddle around so much. They're so fucking fat they can't walk down the aisle. So they're handicapped. Through no fault of their own, they are starving for food, for nutrients. But they're given crap. They're given sugar. And see, all our scientists are paid. It's not. It's the fat. It's not the sugar. It's the whatever the fuck it is, but it's not the sugar. No, it's the sugar. Sweet is poison. And it allows them to poison you. You'll poison yourself because it's so delicious. And then they can sell you all kinds of pharmaceuticals. Pharmacology, go look up that word and the etymology of that word. That's not medicine. They ain't giving you medicine. Medicine doesn't kill you. Medicine doesn't harm you. It's medicine, right? They even got that word. You fucking don't know what that means. Well, I took my medicine and I had a reaction. Well, then it wasn't medicine. It was poison from the pharmaceutical companies, from the pharmacologists, from those who fucking study the Satan. Actually, I don't think that's the right term, the way to do it. But yes, they study the Satan. They study the ways of the Satan. How to make you sick and profit off of making you sick. Ain't no right? No cures. Med beds, they ain't coming anytime soon, but there is such a thing because all it is frequency and vibration. So they fix the frequency and vibration, and lo and behold, you go back to normal. That's what this is about. Right? 0 point energy. All I'm doing is manipulating frequency and vibration. Anyway, the point being is that these people have poisoned just give you toxins and poisons and lied to you and lied to you and lied to you to the point where now, and they just did it in degrees, where you are sick, you got diabetes, you got prostate problem, sugar. You've got attention deficit, sugar, rotten teeth, sugar. Gray hair, sugar, wrinkles, sugar. Cut the sugar out of your diet. Watch the benefits, right? Almost instant benefits. Stick a couple of drops. All you need is a couple of drops a day. You don't have to drink this stuff, and you better not, because you'll kill yourself. Well, or you wish you were dead. But a couple of drops of this, couple tablespoons of this. And one more thing is the minerals, right? The marine minerals. I don't feel like going over there getting them, but anyway, minerals, right? The basic building blocks, then the vitamins, then the other stuff. But the idea is, you can't fight them if you're sick, and they don't care. The DNA is just as good whether you're sick or not, right? It's the DNA that they're farming here. So the DNA doesn't change whether you're healthy, right? It's the whole code is there, and what you eat and what you think expresses that DNA. Bruce Lipton, spend some time with that guy if you haven't done biology of belief and so on. That should be something that's under your belt, because it's all right here, and they figured out if they could get this, they don't need chains. If they could get this, they don't. Right? Okay, if you can get this, you don't need medicine, or well, you could use some medicine and you could activate this, and you'll be healed. But I've seen all kind of, and you heard all kind of miraculous stories that people take placebos and they heal themselves, and then when they found out it was a placebo, they go back to being sick. So the trick is, don't tell them about that was placebo, because power of mind. This thing changes the frequency. This thing that you're in, this is the manifestation of what's in here. Okay. I'm going to go read a few of these. Yeah, I would love to hear a story like that. I've heard many stories. Stacy, you remember Stacy? We have this mutual friend that basically went to the doctor's office and just wanted to see the insert, and they told her she was crazy. And she said, "Well, I don't want you to put mercury in my children." And they said, "Oh, there's no mercury in this." Blah, 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 blah. They've taken the mercury out of vaccines and blah, blah, right? But it was a multi-dose vial, and she knew, because she had done some reading and research, that multi-dose vials still have uh, mercury, right? Thermiosol in there. All right. So anyway, after a long rigmarole, they finally get and sure enough, it's right there on the fucking insert, thermiosol. She had to physically restrain her husband, because he was going to pound the fuck out of that doctor for trying to put, right, and I mean, right, and being haughty about it, and it's right there on the insert. If you fucking would read the insert. Anyway, let's see what we got going on here. Wow, it's like a lot of stuff. Yeah, I know it's late. Yes, I knew that. Zari points out the fact that if you take a look at the CDC numbers and you go back like 10 years, it's plus or minus a few thousand. Like, there was no huge spike in deaths in 2020. Thanks for that, though. Yeah. And here's the thing. Well, actually, I'm not going to go there. Makes people think that I'm on the other team. I'm not on the other team. But you got to understand, these people would have fucking put you in camps. They would have stood by and watched them put you in fucking camps. So the least you can do is encourage them to go be their sanctimonious ass selves, and go ahead, go get it. Right? Trouble us no more. You're too far gone. If you're waiting for these people to wake up, they're not going to wake up, and you're not going to reconcile, and they're not going to be. I mean, they're traitorous, treasonous enemies, as far as I'm concerned. They're so fucking stupid. They're dangerous to themselves and their children, and now they're dangerous to me and mine. Anyway, yeah, the sulfur will clear your skin. It'll do a bunch of things. No, I have not tried propolis, and now I'll go look into that. Let's see here. Okay. See, and this is how they don't want us sharing information. They don't want us talking to each other. They want us stuck in our own little room, believing, just sucking up their mainstream media bullshit and not talking to each other, not having any kind of conversation. I talk to people from all over the world every week because of this technology. And they know they fucked up when they gave us this technology. But the idea is they don't want you in bars and social clubs. They don't want you in coffee shops. They don't want you together, even having birthday parties or Thanksgiving or 4th of fucking July, getting together with people and just trading information and being friendly and so on. They don't want that. It should be fucking clear that that's not conspiracy theory. Okay, anyway. I do not know what you mean by another info dump upload. Tell me what you want, and I'll see what I can do. Let's see here. Yeah, 4th. What the fuck are you doing up, man? Go to sleep. Correct. The shepherd is not of the flock. All right. So there it is. I've gone. A lot of times I can go on and on for 3 hours. This is only 2 hours only. Get this thing and read it. You women, the men out there with wombs, you men with wombs, yeah, Book of Ruth, find out what it means. The rest of you, you men without wombs, we just call you men. Still want to read this book and let people know you men. You're not the corporate fiction that they try to make you out to be. All right, this one. Very simple, short. Look, it's lovely. You may want to get this. Hermes and the Hermetica. It's right. I'm making my son study this at the moment. Okay. Get those 300 words. I think we're done. I think we can call this a day. I bought all my show and tell stuff out, and I think be of good cheer. Oh. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Hey, Pookie Book, I'm making a video. I'll call you back in a minute. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was closing up anyway. See, it's time. She got the message in the field. That's Fiji, by the way. And Fiji, interesting to talk to the people in Fiji and have their thing. All right. So at the end of this, be of good cheer. Do you really think they got away with this? Do you really think that it was 410 to 128 and they're going to let them get away with it? Do you think that they didn't know that this was going to happen? Do you honestly think even my most brain dead dem people know that something's fucky? Something's fucky, right? Something's fucky. The 21 gun salute was all you need to know, actually. This thing isn't over. It hasn't even started. We're in the, well, actually, that's not true. It has absolutely started. It's going on right in front of your noses. We are probably second inning, top of the second, not even bottom. Or the other way around, bottom of the second, not top. I don't know. Anyway, my my sports allegory fell apart. But the idea being is that we're in the beginning of this game. It's not over. Homeboy, well known for being vindictive, well known for being vengeful, well known for getting back at his enemies. Didn't know who's who, right? Now, you fucking people with your red form of the TDS, now you see that, yeah, it's not just fucking Democrats. It's fucking Republicans, too. Lots of them. Corrupt as fuck. Also, corrupt as fuck. Democrats, absolutely corrupt as fuck. All right, Democrats starting to wake up to the fact that, hey, wait a minute, it's not just Republicans. There's some fucking really these, right? Okay, we get to see on the Supreme Court who's who. And now you know. You get to see in the House who's who. You get to see in the Senate who's who. You get to see in many state and local places who's who. Who is on the take? Who is in the pocket, right? The Boule is coming out, right? Mr. Bojangles dance, right? The Boule, they were there to confuse you. They're there to do it for the man. They hate you. They hate you, right? Just because they got dark skin doesn't mean they're not part of the brotherhoods and doesn't mean they wouldn't sell your fucking souls out for a dime or a dollar. And all that's coming to pass. Starting to see who wins in the boule. Martin Luther King. Doesn't mean he didn't make some good social change. Doesn't change the fact that he was in the Brotherhoods. Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, name a comedian that's been on TV that's famous. Boule. Who are they? The Black Brotherhoods? The White Brotherhoods? Right? I told you, I've made numerous videos. Brotherhoods rule this world, people. They do the work of right? Because it's not the elite that are guarding the fucking prisons. It's not the elite. And they're not elite, and they're fucking sick, disgusting, cowardly bastards. But anyway, those that are in those bloodlines that are running the things that have more money than God, that would, if they woke up with fucking Rockefeller's money, they'd kill themselves. Like I said, they already have all of it. Okay, they ain't guarding the prisons. They're not harassing me when I cross the street, asking me where I'm at. No, none of them. Oh, here's another crumb loaf. Policy. See, they even get you to pronounce the words wrong, right? No, that's the police. That ain't the police. The fuck wrong with you? Policy. They enforce policy. That's what they are, is policy. The freaking offers are policy. They are the policy. You ain't wearing your seat. That's policy. You ain't wearing your seatbelt. You going sick. Was there a injured party? Do they have a second witness? You got to have a second. When you get married, you got to have a second. You got to have a best man. You got the bride has a best woman, a bridesmaid, right? And then there's the right. So there's a second. Got to have a witness. If you make a motion, there's got to be a second. So in court, there's got to be a second. Your word against his, there needs to be one more person. But all you can do is, have you got an injured party? And can you, is there a second person, a witness, a second person that says there's an injured, oh, no injured party? Oh, well, then what the fuck are we doing here? You don't know. They're bonding you is what they're doing there, is what they got you, tricked you to come in. And then they charge you for their services by bonding you without telling you, without disclosure. Oh, that's naughty. Fraudulent concealment. Anyway, they're policy. They're not police. So, oh, let's do it again. Who is she? Who is she? Lady Diana? Was she of the people? Indian. No, in Diane. Look up Diane. The name Diane. What does it mean? Heaven. Heavenly. You're in heaven. You're on heaven. You're here. There isn't any there. The simulation is here now. And what they've done is tried to give you this thing so that you can beat this simulation. Now, see, I'm changing the paradigm from magic and stuff to more technology, because it's supreme technology that we're a part. That this whole thing. Well, it's awesome. Look at that. Two things can't occupy the same space at the same time in this dimension. That's one of the rules that we all buy into. 1,000 times a second. Actually, 1,000 times a millisecond. But anyway, Diane. They pronounce in Diane. No. Indian is how they got you to say it. It's not police. It's not policy. It's police. Oh, okay. That's a policy that comes up to you and enforces policy. And then they got you lying, right? And Trump and his law enforcement. That ain't law. That's statute. They're not enforcing law. They can't write law. If you take a look at it, they can write statutes all day long, but they can't write law. That's fundamentals right there. That's law 101 right there. Right? But they've got us so far removed as fucking idiot slaves that we have no idea what the system that we're in. Right? Just completely ignorant. So ignorant, when somebody comes along and tells you that you're ignorant, you're like, that's crazy talk. I went to school. Go take a look. Who's most likely to go take this vaccine? College age kids. Those with college education. The more college education, the more likely they are to take the vaccine. The meek will be inheriting this earth. You done been told. But let's go back to what I was talking about earlier when before I so rudely interrupted myself. Yeah, this thing ain't over. Red Sea moment still coming. I am of no. I have no doubt. Am I still smiling? Right? You guys are TDS again. Really? All that stuff. Here, we'll do that. What number is that? Oh, look, I mixed my numbers up. That guy. Them guys. They give you all that information. And then never just packed their bags and went home. Well, because they stole the election. That they were totally just couldn't expect it. That who could have expected, right? They stole the no. Yeah, and they knew they were going to. And again, go look up cause of action. I cannot arrest you for thinking about stealing something. You got to steal it, and then I can arrest you. I cannot arrest you for thinking about committing treason. You got to commit treason, and then I can hang your motherfucking ass. Or I can shoot you. Or I can lethally inject you. Or I believe I can electrocute you. I believe they gave him 4 choices now. But you can't just, think about it. You got to do it. So you did it. Now you fucked. They know they're fucked. See, these part of the reason why our DNA is so cool is because it allows our emotions. Right? We are emotional beings. I remember being so upset when I found out that we were emotional creatures that could think, not thinking creatures with emotions. Right? But they want that. Yeah, that's what puts the joy in everything, literally. And see, because they're so far removed from that, if you go back, and they knew you wouldn't because you're so depressed and pissed off about it, but if you go back and watch some of the inauguration with a discerning eye, well, first off, you're going to notice some fucking anomalies, and you're going to notice it was edited, and you're going to notice a lot of things. Well, maybe you won't, but see, that's the other thing. If you're paying attention, your eyes will not deceive you. But the bottom line is, you can feel the fact that that was like a funeral. That was not, yay, we got it back. No, that was, what you're watching is a play. What you're watching is them playing out their penance, some of them are going to be horrifyingly disgraced. Some of them are never going to be charged with the pedophilia that they've been involved in, but they're still going to be put to death for treason. And that's part of some of them cut deals and made negotiations. They still get dead, though. Make no mistake, there is war going on right now, but it's not the kind of war you thought it was going to be. And there are, again, hard men in hard places doing hard things. Pray for them, because they are being subjected to things that you see in sci-fi movies. Right here on good old planet Earth. They didn't have to go travel. It's all going on right here, under your noses, under your feet. And there are those others out there that need. So this was one thing I was going to mention. Develop your meditation practice, and then develop your ability to make gamma rays, gamma wavelength, gamma. If you want to be a pilot, you're going to need gamma. I just tossed. There's another little crumb, another little loaf, another little slice of bread. But wait, that wasn't a slice of bread. He just said words. How fucking stupid some of the people are. It's a literal translation. I got the literal translation. I got your literal translation right here. Learn what the fucking words mean. And the parables and the stories, and what they're trying to do is get you the fuck out from under the whore of Babylon. Using parable and code. The parable of the day doesn't work as well because we're kind of removed from that time. So, we don't carry water and stuff like that. But at the same time, well, actually, quite a few of us still do. But overall, in the United States, you're not carrying water. You just go over there and turn the tap. So any kind of parables that have to do with that whole ritual of getting water, oil for candles. Anyway, many of the parables and codes that were common in that day could use an update, but what they have done there is given it to you best they can. Because here's the other thing: they want they wanted to give you the information, but they didn't want them to know that they were giving you the information. So you kind of sort of had to know the code. Get it? Further, some of the Romans were giving you information. Well, were making sure that you didn't get the information because they knew that there was information in there. So they encoded the information because equity must give you a remedy. And this is part of their equity. But they don't have to tell you what the codes mean. They don't have to tell you what the story. They don't have to fucking interpret the parables for you. And if you want to interpret the parables as literal translations of guys walking on water and stuff, fine, that's fine. And not understanding animal tree law and the law of the land and the law of the sea and blah blah blah, and that the fact that yes, the Jesus, the Christ, will calm the seas and can walk right out there and save you from admiralty and bring you back onto the land. But you could just make it this guy was walking on water. Okay. And you can make it where, they defeated the Satan with the blood of the lamb. Oh, okay. So they killed the lamb, huh? And that's how they defeated Satan. Or maybe it means something else. Maybe. Oh, okay. Oh, look, it went on more. Yep. They have to. Right? That's the thing. If you seek, the doors must open. They must open. If you seek in earnest, they cannot be closed to you. Okay. That's 2:27. That's 2.5 hours. I was going to go 3, but I'm actually, some of the things I was going to talk about, I decided, I'm checking it out. I'm amazed that I'm still up. I'm pretty sure that they're reverse psychology as well. If this guy is still there, he must not be telling the truth because everybody else that told the truth fucking got kicked off. And I told everybody to get the fuck off because see, I never made this a thing where I was counting on the income. Obviously, with all 80 of you here, right? And because I've been surprised, because there were a time when I used to get thousands of videos or thousands of views. I mean, I've had videos, I think 65,000, more than that. Not anymore. Now 100, right? Because they won't show this to anybody. And even if you do cut and paste the link or something like that, they won't count the views. And I've seen this shit show up in some interesting places, actually. And you're absolutely allowed. Absolutely. You want to put it on a website or behind a whatever, wherever. I don't care. You want to put a link up? Good for you. I don't think it will behoove you though, because most people will think, "Well, that fucking guy's crazy," and so if you're listening to that fucking guy, you must be crazy too. So might not be in your best interest because you're not going to get credibility out of sharing my videos. That's for damn sure. But the information is here, and like I said, if I fuck up, I try to tell you. I try not to give you false information. But here's the thing: even if I do, you should be able to fact check every fucking thing I say. I mean, it's really some guy that looks like this on the internet is gonna. There's this guy Ty. Me and him got to do he and I have to do a show together. He's a flamboyant gay man he puts all kind of. I mean, he's not a drag queen. He's a cross dresser, and he only does it once in a while. And he's a performance artist, and he's gay. But he pretty woke. So, but what he was saying is that if you are, what is it? He does a lot of live streams on Facebook and he does them pretty consistently. And people kind of have been sort of looking to him like, I don't know, for answers or like as a life coach or whatever. And he's basically saying that if you take a brown, and he's a raging, well, I don't know if he's a raging alcoholic, he's cut it back, but he used to be used to drink a lot. And he's like, if you get a dark-skinned alcoholic is your life coach, what happened? Right? If I'm the guy, if Justin, if your sister and I are the voice of reason, it is time to pause and reflect. But the idea is that, yeah, they don't want us talking to each other. They want you to lose hope. They want you. They're hoping for the Hail Mary. The Hail Mary's never coming. Nothing stops what's coming. Nothing. These people were raping children, and they've been busted, and we know about it, and they're not getting away with it this time. They put us back to sleep last time, and I am one of the ones. I am fucking guilty. Where Satan, Satan, Satan. Now these people see Satan everywhere. We're raping children now. This was back in the 90s, if you recall. There were all these, right, where they tried to say, oh, those children, it was just, right, this is the great Satan scare. Go look back. They put everybody back to sleep. Oh, that's crazy talk. There's no Satan. No, there's no devil worshippers. There's no demon worshippers. There's nobody that worships Baal. All those guys, that's all gone. There's only Christ, and hardly, right? Yeah, see, nope. You got to know the difference, and see, he will point that out to you, that there is a difference between being a drag queen and being just a cross dresser, because he's not a drag queen; he's just a cross dresser. Culture, baby, culture. But anyway, the idea being is that he fucking is trying to wake people up, just like, all right, telling you to fucking reclaim and take responsibility for personal actions and quit fucking wearing that mask. And yeah, that vaccine probably, I said it again, that shot probably isn't going to be good for you, and on and on and on. Anyway, the point being is that and do we see eye to eye on everything? Fuck no, we don't see eye, obviously. But at the same time, it would be pretty fun, and we hopefully would get into some spirited debate, because it's fucking boring as hell if we both just agree with each other, right? I used to have a morning show, and we would pick sides because she and I were very much on the same team and of the same thinking. But that doesn't make good radio. So she would pick one side, and I would pick the other. And I remember one time, like, she's fucking here in Hawaii owning firearms and a pistol for self-defense, but she took the opposite side of the gun control debate, and I took the quote unquote, in this state, I'm the asshole because you should have the right to bear arms. And holy crap. Anyway, Jay Akuhed Pupuli, he said, you want listeners? Piss them off, because they will tune in the next day to piss them off. I don't necessarily piss you guys off, mostly, but the idea is, because it's just me and there's nobody to debate with, but at the same time, it would be funner for everybody involved if Ty and I could get into something. I don't know, because overall we agree like 99% of the time, but that's no fun. Same thing with my Pookie, when Super Pookie and the Dragon do the Tuesday night social club. We're going to try and come down on two different sides of whatever issue it is, even though she and I agree on almost everything too, but that's no fun. It's no fun to agree with everybody all the time. But anyway, the idea being is that they want us see, and it's got to be when you debate, and when the point of debate is for you to become more wise, not to destroy the other side, not to become more clear, right? Reading makes let me go find that. Let me quote it correctly, because it's Benjamin Franklin. And I'll never find it. I just shit post all day long. Oh, come on. You know the one. Let me find it. I'll put it in here. And see, I had these all up, and like I said, my computer crashed, and I had to restart it, and all the stuff that I had open, that I was just going to go from tab to tab and have everything read. Anyway, and then I was going to like, fuck it, I'm not going to make the video. And then I was like, fuck it, I haven't made a video in like weeks. So because haste makes waste. There you go. Reading makes a full man, meditation a profound man, discourse a clear man. There it is. I couldn't remember that is because I'm stressed out making a video right here, right? I don't know what happens when I turn the camera on. Something doesn't, because normally I would be able to quote that easily. But anyhow, the point being is that you're supposed to debate to enrich both sides, so that both sides not right. There are times when what the hell is that? When oh, nothing. Okay, when I have taken the other side of an argument just to prove it wrong. Um, When's a good example? Oh, good example. I used to be a securities licensed. I used to set up trusts and mutual fund, the whole 9 yards. That whole securities industry had a securities license from like 1984. Um, and then I read this thing about the IRS doesn't have a creation statute, and that the IRS isn't, is a private corporate. And I don't know what bullshit it. Okay, tried to prove it wrong. Oops. I fell down a rabbit hole that I haven't gotten out of since then. So there's been other times when, like, okay, climate change. Tried to disprove the fact that it's getting colder. If you'll do the research, we got a ground solar minimum, and you can tell now they're kind of sort of lying to you. How's it working out in Texas? Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Did I not mention that you might want to prepare? Okay, well, we ain't done yet, and the ground solar minimum is going to be worse next year and the year after that. So if you didn't fucking prepare for the last one and you got caught with your pants down, don't do it again. Simple. Told you. I haven't freaking sampled freeze-dried food here and so on. Mountain home, winter. Get yourself some freeze-dried food. Get yourself the ability to get those little power packs. I have them around here someplace that make electricity. You can charge your phone. It just needs solar. Get yourself water. Right. That was the other thing people don't understand. Water, hugely important. If you had a Berkey filter, you could take the snow outside, dump it in your filter, and then you got water. But a lot of these guys, they didn't have water because the water coming out of the tap was destroyed because the pipes all cracked. Okay, water, right? The basics. Air filter, right? Air, water, food, heat. That's not a consideration here in Hawaii. I mean, here in Hawaii, it was 60 degrees. Right? It's like we're all freezing. Over there, no, they were freezing to death, literally freezing to death, and so fucking ignorant they leave the garage door down and turn the car on. Oh, because they don't know physics and they don't understand. Wonder if they were wearing the mask at the same time. Dumbasses. Fuck. Anyhow, the point being is redundancy. You need to understand redundancy. What if you don't have central power? Can you make heat? Oh, you don't have a fireplace. Oh well, do you understand the concept of using candles and clay pots? That works. How about kerosene? That portable kerosene heaters. There's a guy here. We were a fucking trailer in Idaho, and a kerosene heater, while we didn't have electricity, was quite useful and kept us from freezing to death. Remember those days? Those were fun days. Couldn't fucking wash our hands probably in the water because it was so damn cold that you couldn't make a lather with the soap because the water coming out of the tap was so cold. I'll never forget those days. That was fun. Anyway, the point being is that you need to be able to not count on centralized power and centralized heat and centralized gas. So that's called redundancy. So what happens when there's no power? Well, then you take over from there and you supplement. What happens if there's no water? So you have water stored, or you can purify water or whatever ahead of time, not after the fact. Mormons, all the Mormons, go look it up and see. Joe told you what to put in the fucking locker, so put what he told you to put in the locker. And prepare, because it's getting worse, and it's going to get worse. Never mind government, never mind Antifa or BLM or whatever the fuck it is that you're worried about social stress. What about just weather? And I said that, and I'm going to say it again now. You ain't out the woods, and winter will come early next year too, and be harsh and fuck things up. So be ready for it. You have the summer to prepare. Then there is the possibility that, did I say I was going to quit? I said I was going to quit. But then there is the possibility that there is social unrest that causes you grief, where you can't get food and you can't go to the store and you can't blah, blah, blah. I mean, fuck, for a little while there, just the fucking lockdowns. So just be prepared and understand you can't, this The story in this book is basically when it ain't raining, that's when you prepare. That's when you build your ark. And that's when you store stuff up. After it starts raining, you late. And a lot of people figured out they late because they didn't have a plan. They didn't have backup. They didn't have food. They didn't have water. Really? They didn't have water? I don't know, just in the house. And see, we just had this huge storm. I'm going to go at least 5 gallons backed up, right, of tap water. Well, my tap water is, I got a Kangen machine, so I turn it into 9.5 water. But I mean, it's water that came out of the tap. I could use it from the tap. It's double filtered. Okay, a lot of people in Texas didn't have filters on their, done anything, nothing, and couldn't boil the water in there anyway because they had no way to make heat because they had all electric, no gas. Really? So you couldn't even have you got a house, but you ain't got a propane burner in the backyard, a propane tank, and a little burner. Really? Okay. That's too much preparation work for you. Or maybe just a barbecue grill that has some, right? Okay. Nope. Again, too much work. That's crazy talk. I mean, fuck, they got you slaves down to the point where you're just 100% dependent on electricity, on food, right? The store closes, you're fucked. Bummer. Got nothing more to say to you, right? This was a nation that was built on people that were self-sufficient and helped each other out in that sufficiency. Oh, there's a word to look up: sufficiency. Right? But I mean, it's pathetic. It's fucking ridiculous and pathetic what they've done to you. Just 100% dependent and can't seem to get it through the fat heads that, yeah, they ain't your friends. They don't want to help you. They're not putting a mask on you to protect you. They're not. You are a product. You are chattel property. You are the Duracell that runs this whole thing. They want you sick so that they can suck a little lucre, a little money off of you that way. They want you ignorant so that they can suck money out of that way. They want you timid. That keeps you from standing up in court and being, fuck you, I'm not paying you for a fucking seatbelt ticket. What the fuck's wrong with you? Nope, you just pay it because it's easier. Okay, sorry, I won't do it next time. Right? You feed them. You get on an airplane, you travel at all. You pay for that. That search, them violating your rights, yeah, that's part of your ticket. You pay for it. You pay their salary as part of your ticket. Acquiesce to that. You are consenting. You are consenting. You are consenting. You have no place to complain because you consent every fucking day. And you bitch. And the worst part about it is you guys that'll piss and moan about consenting, and then you won't do anything about changing the record because you scared. And half of you probably shouldn't change the record quite yet because, yeah, you don't have enough knowledge to fend for yourself, to have an identification card that tells them that you are a man or a woman, because you don't have the mental capacity to be a man or a woman quite yet. Because you've been so dumbed down and chattel property for so fucking long. You act like chattel property, you talk like chattel property, you walk like chattel property, you look like chattel property. So until such time as you are ready to set the record straight and then walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Right now, I'm talking the talk. I'm getting ready to walk the walk, but mostly I'm just talking the talk because I ain't got all my fucking paperwork together yet. I mean, it's going and it's starting to getting the green cards back. It's starting to happen, right? And then they won't be able to say, we didn't know. They won't have any plausible deniability because I done told them 3 times. Right? Correct your fucking records. So if your record isn't corrected, that's not my fault anymore. I told you. Right? Put it in writing. Put a seal on it. Oh, I know what LS stands for now, too. You ever see on a document where it says LS? I should find some documents for that, right? Where the notary puts LS over it. Basically, that's just mean here is the seal. But I mean, you should know what that means, the LS. What does that stand for? Right? Everything on the document you should know. Okay. I'm actually not out of things to say because there are a couple of things but I can't. I was saying if I could get the gumption up to do it, but I'm not going to do it because anyway. probably wind up getting strikes on the channel and may cause more grief than solace. Anyhow, be of good cheer. It's coming, and that's the other thing that is coming. So you be ready for that because them guys is gonna turn into fucking maniacs when their toy gets taken away. So it's coming. It's coming. I can't. It's coming. Fuck all y'all if you think it's not coming. Fuck all y'all if you think that these guys are gonna get away with stealing this thing. Fuck all y'all if you think the baby rapers are gonna continue raping babies and that the good guys just went home. Ain't no good guys in this fight, as I've said 1,000 times. But that's not what happened. That's not that's not how any of this happens. So be of good cheer. That hold the line thing, fuck that hold the line thing. You ought to be in the streets, fucking throwing these guys up over lampposts and trees and making strange fruit. But still a little too cowed for that. So we'll have to wait a little longer until the rage just simmers, right? And that's the thing they're trying to mitigate. Actually, is that they don't want you taking it, but I doubt seriously that they'll be able to control that. But it's coming, and these people know it's coming. Why are there troops and a fence and another fence around the Capitol? Is that how it always goes? Or is this the first time this has ever happened as long as you've been alive? And they're still there. So again, for them, those of you that think that the military is just sitting on its haunches and that all the guys in the various organizations, wait, this is the one I bought from that guy, right? Okay, because they are and they were and they know what happened and they didn't get away with it. Things aren't working out the way you thought or the way I thought either. But they certainly didn't come to a standstill. And it's not just, oh, Kamala's president now. And oh, here's some fun. Who do you think she's going to bring in as her vice president? Mike or Hillary? Hillary or Mike? Anyway, I'll be interested to see who it is. But Joe's on his way out of this theater that they're putting on. And also Kamala's got to fulfill the prophecy, because that's the other thing with these monkeys. They do fulfill the prophecies in this book, and they're self-fulfilling prophecies. But I mean, they fulfill the book. The book must be fulfilled. So they put the show on to fulfill the book. They make the book fulfill itself. They know what the books say. You don't necessarily know what the books say, but they know what the books say, and then they make what the books say happen in real time reality. Well, I don't know if I'd call it reality. Reality TV. It's reality TV. And how many of your friends watch TV and think that that's the reality? And it's not the reality. The reality of the situation is bad guys losing like bad dogs. People that have been watching the White House like hawks. Odd stuff going on there. I'd take a look, because there are people that are recording that feed and then they speed it up, and then when something interesting happens, they they watch it 2-3 times speed, and then when something interesting happens, they note it, and interesting things are happening. They got about a third of the military. They got about a third of the generals, but these generals, they're fucking scum. They were the ones that want to prosecute war and build a career on the blood of the children, basically. So that they can get cool defense contracts and become consultants and so forth after they don't have to necessarily be 5-star generals, just get to the general rank, and then they can get really lucrative career in consulting with various members of the military industrial complex. So there's about a third of those guys that put their financial well-being over their oath. You guys gonna die. I mean, you guys are so fucking gonna die. Anyway, but put their financial well-being over the oath, would rather prosecute illegal wars and so forth for glory and honor and medals and so forth, than rather than uphold their oath to the Constitution and actually, protect the country from enemies, foreign and domestic. In fact, they are the domestic enemies. Obama got about a third of them to turn. The other 2/3 didn't turn. Ain't no Marines in that bunch. Well, I can't say that with alacrity, but I'm confident there are very, very few Marines in that bunch. Mostly Air Force pussies, Army pussies, a few from the Navy, Very few from the Marines. Um, and you guys are fucked. Like you're so. I will relish watching you guys swing. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that most of the military is not, and they know what comes and what they need to do, and it's going on as we speak. Like it's absolutely going on. It's not. It didn't. It's absolutely. It's fucking. It's on like Donkey Kong, but it's military. So, and even if it wasn't, our mainstream media is so fucking shitty that they wouldn't be reporting on it anyway. But no, this thing isn't going to be. No, it's not going to be televised. What will be televised will be a very uh, I'm not sure what words to use. It will be a very it's going to be a show. It's going to be a very succinct, well packaged uh, transition back to sanity. The Red Sea moment comes. The people who are responsible for stealing not one but two elections, the same people that stole it from Bernie, the same people that murdered Seth Rich, the same people that did all these different things are coming to justice. Nothing fucking stops what's coming. Ye of little faith. I mean, some of you guys disgust me. I mean, ye of little faith. It's coming, right? It's coming like a bat out of hell, and they all know it. And see, one thing they're going to use words for, right? When they put these people to death, they're not going to tell you about the pedophilia. For not in every case. They didn't tell you about they didn't even tell you that McCain was put to death. They try to tell you the story that, oh no, he wasn't put to death. He just died of natural causes. Okay. That's not what happened. And go take a look at, and again, if you know anything about study flag law, study flags and the whole flag lore and the whole law of flags. And I've got a flag, and yes, it makes a difference. Um, when they drape a flag over the coffin, the way it's draped over the coffin means something. Signs and symbol mean everything, and some of you guys understand the pomp and circumstance of the military, and some of you don't. But the pomp and circumstance, the signs and symbols, very important. And if you didn't, you don't need to know anything else than Trump got a 21 gun salute. That's it. That's all you need to know. Biden did not get a 21 gun salute. That's it. Done. Now just wait for it. Quit being babies. Be of good cheer. All right. E pluribus unum. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. You're out. Help these guys. Right? Cavalry is absolutely coming. Can hear them. But you got to help. Get your paperwork filed, right? Go over to this website over here. This is yet another one. Like I said, I can give you many. You can find many people that are fucking sue the wrongdoers home. You can look on other of my videos where I put links to various other redress for dummies and all those guys, right? Way of the Warrior, all of them guys. There's lots of different people doing lots of different things. You manifest this however you want, right? You are a unique individual. So you're unique just like everybody else. So you come up with your words, not mine, not the words of someone. You come up with your documents. They have to be in a prescribed formula. You need to know where to sign. You need to know how to seal the thing. You need to know how to address the thing. You need to know who to address it to. But you need to do it and correct the record. And then you can sue these fuckers, sue their bonds, hold them to account for their wrongdoings. They can't do it all alone. Who are you waiting for? Why are you waiting for somebody else to do it for you? Especially if you have cause of action. Okay, and then you can go make cause of action, but you got to come with clean hands. Understand those maxims of equity. You can't go up there and raise a ruckus and then try to get equity out of that. But if you're just like going to the store without a mask on, and they fuck with you, okay, now you got cause of action. But if you're just going to somebody's place to fuck around and not wear a mask and see if you can get them to fuck with you, okay, well, now we got a problem. But if you're just going about your daily routine and your daily life and things that you would customarily do that have been fucked up because of these stupid rules and orders from your fucking governors that have no authority to do such things, that are enforced by policy, now you got cause of action. Me crossing the street, I wasn't doing any fucking thing. I wasn't coming. I wasn't trying to make a. I wasn't trying to do anything other than cross the fucking street. Okay, and that's where they right. That's like that movie with John Wick where they killed the little puppy, right? All this other fucking shit goes on, but with the last fucking straw. Okay, that was the last fucking straw for me. I was just crossing the fucking street, and this fucking cop decides that he's going to come up to me and try and fucking tell me and intimidate me. Didn't work out well for him. Didn't work out well for this county because I wasn't doing nothing. Right? You can't tell me to put a mask on. You can't. Sorry. You cannot tell me to buy an article of clothing and where to put it on. You can't. I don't have that authority. Neither do you. I don't give a fuck if you're a governor, a mayor, a guy with a gun. Oh, from point of action. All right. So we are going to make it to 3 hours, and I'm not even going to talk about the stuff I want to talk about. All right. From point of action, they must have. All right. If they're not uniformed, if they're not giving you, all right, let's back up even more. Back up. They need to identify themselves, especially if they're going to try and contract with you. All right, so it's called due process, and due process starts at point of contact. So when they first come and talk to you, they got to identify who the fuck they are, right? They need to give you an ID. They need to give you some kind of right, and flashing their fucking badge at you, all right, or pointing to their badge number. What's your fucking name, right? Are you bonded? Right? Okay. What's your rank? Where's the phone number where I can contact you or your superiors? Right. So when they ask you for ID, where's their ID? Simple as that. Tit for tat. Okay. That's due process. Okay. So then you need to inform them if they are violating your due process rights, where they don't give you due process, where they won't identify themselves. Well, then now their imminent immunity is considered null and void. Am I making sense? So now they can't, because the first thing they're going to do is try to sovereign immunity in imminent. I'm immune. I'm a police. I'm a policy. You can't do anything to me. I'm acting in good faith. No, you're not fucking acting in good faith. You did not fucking identify yourself to start. Guys, catching up. All right, what does that say? Yeah. Okay. Yep. You got to understand trust law, definitely. Trust law for dummies. You ought to understand contract law also. But then understand shit that worked 10 years ago, as I've said earlier, may not work anymore because they just, once we figure out the process, they change the process. Equity must give you remedy, but they don't have to tell you what it is or the process to go about it. Okay. But my point is, if you want to go after these guys, well, not if you want, you must go after these guys. You have to hold them in account. The job of the government is not to hold us, right? Is not to correct us when we are erred. The job of the people is to correct the government when they fall into error, because the people rarely fall into error. But if we do fall into error, we have governments to serve us. And see, that's the thing. As my son and I actually got into a little earlier, we're not electing leaders. They're not leaders. That by default means that you're a follower and they're a leader and you're a follower. No, 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 no. You don't need a leader. That's not the point. You need a servant. You need people to fucking navigate some of this paperwork for you. You need people that do things that government does for you. Those are supposed to be public servants. Right? They're not your leaders. They're not your offers. They're not your spiritual guides. They're not your rulers. They're not your lawmakers. They have no jurisdiction over you. They can't speak law to you. They can't make law. Corporations don't make law that's binding on men. The fuck's wrong with you people? Oh, but this is the way it's always been. So of course you thought that's and you went to school and they ingrained that into you. The fucking manager at McDonald's doesn't tell me what to do. Period. Unless I go work for McDonald's. And then I have a contract. And then I filled out the paperwork. Oh, you did that. So now you got to correct the record. Because United States Corporation, State of Hawaii, County of Maui, County of whatever the fuck you are, County of wherever your county is. Those are corporate entities. Your mayor is a corporate person. The governor is a corporate person. That corporate person or that position, like the Christ, can be filled by a man. Our man, the man that fills the governorship here, is named Ige. My mayor is named Victorino. I know this guy, actually. He is a man. He acts as mayor in a private corporation that I have no contract with. Okay, but you got to let them know that you don't have a contract previous to any cause of action or anything. And you have to let them know, and you're going to have to ask them simple questions, because if you go in there talking shit about how you're not the corporate fiction and so forth, they're going to call you crazy, and they may even do a psych evaluation on you, which you will consent to once they prove to you that you and the name are the same thing. You can avoid all of this if you ask that question ahead of time. Like I asked these guys, if I'm wrong, and it's the IRS, I'm letting the IRS know, and this is like the linchpin. Um, am I the same thing as these names? Look, there's 4 of them here. Am I these 4 things? Am I John Quincy Adams in all caps, or is it the placenta they named? Am I Quincy? No, wait a minute. John Quincy Adams. Am I Adams John Quincy? Am I John Q Adams? Am I Adams John Q? Or am I the representative of these things? Right? So facts and evidence. It's not what's right or wrong, it's what you can prove. So if I'm wrong, correct me. I'm asking you 3 times. Am I the same thing as that name? Or do I represent that? Subtle, isn't it? Actually, it's not so subtle. And they beat you over the head with it. Okay. Now for sure, I quit. Just because of all the threes. We're at 301, 34, 35. Would have been cool if I could have quit at 33, but all right. You pluribus Crime Stoppers. I've had enough for one evening. I hope you have too. Get your shit done. Get it done. Get it done so you can hold these guys to account. They need your help, right? And one more time, people. Mightier than sword. I know a lot of you guys it's tempting. You want to pick up your guns. I know. And it's long. Our fucking founding fathers would have been stacking bodies by now. I know. Pen mightier than sword. Educate yourself. Educate others. Talk to you soon.